apparently my sound was off.
Oh, was it?
That's cool, it's on now.
Well, intro scene. Here we are with this girl. This guy just got stabbed.
Bam! Goes to head.
Ow!
Morgan, wake up already. So yeah, we play as the bearded guy that just got stabbed, supposedly in his dream. And this lady, Ren, is his sister. And we are the members of a well-known mercenary company in the world of this game. And we've been sent to the northern land on a certain mission to meet with our company mage by the name of Sigurd. The game starts with a little tutorial, so we're here to follow Ren.
And here we go. This is where most of the action is gonna be. This must be the place.
Should we read the dialogues aloud? What do you think?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. Yep, this must be the place. Sigurd said in his letter it was just a few rundown huts on the coast. What are we doing all the way out here? It's not like it was on our way home. If it has an inn with a bed in it, who cares? It has to be better than another night out in the woods. Come on. Okay.
Let's go, Martin.
Two men are standing just outside the village engaged in a heated conversation. So, and here we are.
Okay.
This location is where most of the demo will take place. We have a couple more in the demo. And we're also going to show a few more that are not present in the demo. And ones that we haven't really showed anywhere before after the main playthrough. So look forward to that. But for now, yeah, we'll focus on the demo. So yeah, as I said, during the exploration, we control our main guy, Morton, and Ren is in our party. She will follow us around, but she kind of has a mind of her own. So she'll run around, she'll follow us when necessary, but right now she's just standing over there, waiting for us to come there. So let's do that.
Yep.
What are you suggesting, Reginald? If we don't pay up, they'll kill us all. Silly old fool. If they kill us, they'll stop getting their gold. All they're going to do is try to scare you with some big talk and maybe a few punches. We need to take a stand. If we keep paying, nothing will ever change. The gold stays where it is.
It is not ours to decide. We must consult... Oh, wait, someone's here.
What do you want? Did Bottle send you?
We don't want any problem. We're just travelers.
We're just travelers looking for a place to stay the night. Oh, be on your way then. This is
so in this game, the choices you make decide what's gonna happen in the end. So you have to be very careful of what you choose in dialogues and everything.
And now you can see Ren is back to following us. There we go. Right, so when we start, we're a bit limited because this is sort of a tutorial section. So if we try to go here, Ren will tell us, "Nuh-uh. We're not here to explore, Martin. And even if we were, I doubt we would find a bed. Let's get to the village, eh?" So Ren, she really likes beds. She really likes a good sleep. I guess I'm kind of like her in this regard. Don't we all like a good sleep in a feathery bed? But anyway.
So we could go to the village, or we could open our map and see what's around here, maybe.
Let's take a look at the map. Oh yeah, and this is the party screen, by the way. So yeah, this game is a party-based tactical RPG in which you control up to 5 characters in battles. All the characters can be equipped with a variety of items, and you can set up what abilities they use in combat and so on. But we'll get to that a bit later. For now, let's take a look at the location. So there we go. This is the location map. We have a couple of question marks here and here and here and here. And this is our main quest, the arrivals. Today marks our first day at the northern shore. We should check our surroundings and look for Sigurd. Sigurd mentioned the village at the northern shore in his letter. We should be able to find him waiting for us there.
Oh, people is complaining about my microphone distortion. I apologize for this, but I don't know what happens with Discord, but this expensive mic distorts only on Discord. So sorry, guys. Hope you don't mind.
Yeah, we're really sorry about that. And yeah, I'm playing it with a controller, an Xbox controller actually, but it supports both standard keyboard mouse setup and any controller really that you can plug in your PC and use with Steam. So you should be fine using whatever you prefer. If you prefer a DualShock or whatever, you can play with that. So let's go to the village. Lots of people here.
Yeah, let's do it around here.
Lots of people. Who do we talk to? Ren, who do we talk to? Hi, Ren. Yes, brother? Did you want to talk about something? Why do you think Sigurd wanted to meet us? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on inside that head of his. I think we'll find out soon enough. Okay. So,
Okay.
this guy is arguing with his grandma over here. Arvin the Smith.
Haven't seen you around these parts before. Arvin's the name. I'm the village smith. What can I do for you?
Can you forge weapons?
Sorry, pitchforks are more my thing. Not much call for swords around here.
Okay. Anything strange happened here lately?
I mean, besides poor Yodrik over there losing his marbles. He's been speaking in tongues for nigh on a week now. I just wish he'd do it somewhere else.
Is there somewhere we can spend the night?
Oh, there's a patch of grass over by the pumpkins there. Were you expecting some of your big city comforts?
Not very helpful, are you?
And you're none too polite. Pah, city folk.
You don't know anything about me.
I know enough to call a spade a spade. I've made enough of them.
Come on, Morton. He's clearly got piss spots to polish.
Come again.
Yeah, so he's a bit of
Well, not very useful.
he's a bit of a troll character in this demo, but actually, yeah, in the main game, we'll probably make him a proper vendor. So, yeah, later in the game, you'll be able to sell and buy some items from him. I suppose we're still, yeah, just to clarify, the game is still in active development. It's going to be released somewhere later this year. We cannot announce a release date just yet, but yeah, please look forward to it. So we have a question in the Steam chat. How much will this game cost? So right now we are aiming the ballpark of 20 to 25 American dollars. Depending on your territory, you'll see the the normal Steam price change. And just to give you an example of what you'd be buying with that price, we are aiming for about 20 to 30 hours of gameplay on a single walkthrough. And as you'll hopefully see, this game has choices, and choices do affect what's going on. Some characters may live or die depending on what you choose to do. Certain quests may become unavailable, or the opposite, rather become available depending on what you do, and so on and so forth. So we're hoping that it would be still an interesting experience to play more than one time. And we're also trying to support that by by the actual gameplay systems behind the game. There's a lot of freedom in how you can progress your characters. And unlike most RPGs, we don't really have a fixed class system with skill trees and so on, but rather your characters will automatically develop their skills and abilities depending on what weapons they're using and what actions they're taking in combat. So for example, Morton here is using a two-handed sword, so he'll naturally mostly increase his strength stat when fighting, and he'll automatically progress in the two-handed weapon tree. Yeah, let's check that out actually. So if we go here, we can press X on the gamepad, open the character editor, here we go. So you can see the equipment screen. We can equip the characters. We have 5 slots: main hand, offhand, armor, and 2 accessories. It's pretty streamlined. And then we have the ability list, and each ability you can turn on and off depending on your preference and your tactics in combat. You might prefer to use some abilities over the other. And for example, if you don't want to have a certain buff affecting you because it doesn't really help your build, you can always turn it off or on. And so your available abilities also change depending on what you have equipped. So if we unequip the Great Sword, you'll see Morton switches to one-handed combat. And let's check Ren. Ren's using longsword and wooden shield here, right? So if we take the longsword off her, and we can give her a great sword, so now she'll be a two-handed warrior. And you can see that she also has a restoration magic ability group available, and that is unrelated to the weapon, so she can always use healing spells in combat. And now we can also give Morton a shield. So now Morton will be the shield guy. Actually, let's try playing the game like this. What do you think, Cloudy?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Cool.
There's this guy saying, "Hi devs, how many guitars does the left dev have?" How many guitars do I have? I have 5 guitars around here. I mean, I'm making the music for the game, so yeah, I need things that make noises.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
this is a good time to introduce the interactive music, I think. 'Cause, yeah, our music changes depending on battle situations, locations you're in. And if we exit the village and go over here, you can see that it fades out and fades into another track nicely. Some seagulls over here.
exactly.
Someone left some fish bones over here.
There's a lot of detail in the maps actually.
Hi devs, how many guitars does the left dev have? Cloudy, how many guitars do you have? I actually second this question.
5. I do have 5 guitars. I have a bass over there. I have this little keyboard here, and also I have a lot of virtual instruments. Too many of them.
I only have
And
one,
that's how I
one
make
guitar here.
music.
I am so jelly. I want more guitars in my house. Maybe after we're done with this game, I'll refocus my efforts on acquiring more guitar instruments. Someone's asking if the stream is working. Is the stream working for all of you guys? I think it's working. It is working for me.
I know I need a solution for this mic problem. Prophet Greg. It distorts with Discord, I don't know why.
Yeah, guys, we're really sorry for the sound problems. We were trying to fix it before the stream, but sadly, yeah. Please bear with us. So yeah, meanwhile...
Sound guy is distorted.
Yeah, sound guy with a distorted mic, it's like the irony. Anyway, I think while we were running around, we found the Elder's house. This has to be the Elder's house. Let's see if he's home.
Yeah.
Warren walks up and knocks on the door. There's no answer. Great, no one's home. What now, Chief? Let's ask around the village. You're the boss.
Okay, so we have to come back to the guys on the entrance, basically, right?
Hey, God, my back is killing me. Poor Ren. For the record, we have a dog, and while you cannot pet it yet, you can interact with it, and it says woof. Woof, woof. Grrr. Don't mess with the dog. Okay. Moving forward.
Thank you, Skimeric. He says he likes the music.
Nice.
There's gonna be a lot of music in this game.
There is a lot of music. There's already a lot of music. I think music is like the heaviest, the biggest part of the game right now. We have so many tracks. We're trying to make sure that every location, every situation, most of the important characters have a unique music track. And so look forward for a really nice soundtrack. The two men we saw arguing.
Yes.
The two men we saw arguing near the well might know something about what's going on. We should approach them again. Oh, by the way, our scenario writer will be joining us in a few minutes. He's a bit late, but yeah. He's the guy who was doing a guerrilla stream yesterday, if some of you were watching it. And he'll be able to tell you a bit more about the game's story. I will make sure that I don't spoil anything just yet. Not buying this because you can't pet the dog. We will consider adding the dog petting feature as a stretch goal.
At least I'll add some dog sound effects. Ruff, ruff.
Okay, there are more people here now. Enough of your shit.
Oh.
Hand over the goal. How many times do I have to tell you? The catches have been down. We've barely got enough to feed ourselves, never mind sell. Bottle was kind enough to give you an extra week, and this is how you repay him? With lies? What do you mean?
He told you we haven't had anything to sell. There's no gold.
If that's the way you want to play it. Grun, pick one. Heh, with pleasure. Oh, haven't seen you around here before, darling. You'll do nicely. You're a friend there. Don't look happy. Don't worry, mate. You can have a bag when I'm done.
What do you say, chat? Lay one finger on her and you'll lose your arm, or do we want to see how Ren handles this herself?
Tick tack, tick tack, tick tack. I always go for the first one, to be honest.
The first one is the nice guy answer. Let's play a bad guy.
Yeah,
Hey, don't let me stop you.
be a badass.
Smart lad, come here, you.
Thug reaches out to grab Ren's wrist. The next moment, he's staggering backwards, his arm bent at a strange angle.
Ah!
Okay. Sorry, you're not my type. So as you can see, Ren can handle herself
Oh,
just
boy.
fine.
You bitch! You broke my arm!
Bad move. We would have been happy to stop at one, but you had to go and push your luck. Wait, they're not with...
Hey. What did I miss?
Oh, Anton. Hello,
okay.
Anton.
Hey,
Hi.
Anton.
Okay.
How's it going, man?
So what did I miss?
We can't see you.
It's great. Okay, okay. Let me try something else then.
So yeah, our scenario writer Anton has just joined the room, and he's just fixing his cam.
Can you see me now?
Nope.
Apparently not. Okay.
Yeah, I can only
Oh,
see
now
you
I
on
can- okay,
Discord.
okay.
I can see you on Discord.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Everyone
Yeah, I
give
can
a
see
shout out
myself
to
on the screen.
Anton. Hey, Anton.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
So, what's going on right now?
So right now, Hakon just got butchered by the brigand leader, and Reginald is crying over his
Yeah.
dead body.
We seem to have some trouble with Stream.
Do we?
Do we?
I don't know. I mean, everything's okay on mine,
Hold on.
but George is
looks
writing
alright.
that. It's
Is it okay,
Okay.
now?
One more.
I think it's fixed now. Yeah, it's fixed now.
okay. Yeah, seems to work.
Anyway, guys, if you see there's any problem, just let us know.
Yep. If you have any questions about the game, feel free to write them in the chat. We're happy to answer.
Yes.
But meanwhile, yeah. So Hakon just got butchered, and I think we have a fight upcoming.
You think? I wouldn't be so sure.
Do I think so?
Look at this.
Okay, so
First fight.
this is the first fight of our game, and I just like to. I would just like to spend some time to explain the battle system here. So the
Yeah,
game is
please.
the game is turn-based, and it's divided. Each turn is divided in two phases: the order phase and the action phase. Pretty self-explanatory. except for the thing that with the order phase, where in the order phase in our game you have to give the orders to all of your characters, and after that you press start the action, and during the action all the characters will resolve their actions one by one, sort of automatically, and they do have a bit of an intellect of their own, so they will try to follow your orders as best they can, but depending on the situation, for example, if you give an attack order to a character but their target is already dead because someone else killed it, they will try to automatically adjust and do something else, something useful, during their turn, so as not to, waste the action. And all the characters have action points. They automatically generate a number of action points each turn. And you also have those generator abilities, as we call them, which automatically award you some action points back when used. So for example, Morton's attack ability costs 1 action point, but it also restores 1 AP when used. So the next turn, you'll be back with 2 action points. Let's give it a try.
You do a better job at explaining things than me yesterday. That's for sure.
And the game
Yeah,
designer.
you certainly have a talent.
That's my job,
You have a
right?
talent for live streaming.
So
Yeah,
we have
you
a
put
question.
it that way.
Any special attacks? Yeah. So right now, because I switched the items around, and Morden is using a sword and shield, and Ren is using a two-hander, they only have the basic attack at their disposal. But
Oh, you equipped Ren with two-hander. Okay.
yeah, I'm playing it
Yeah,
the
First
weird,
time, the first
weird
time I'm seeing this, really.
exclusive.
Okay.
Okay, so as you use your normal actions, you sort of automatically acquire experience points for your abilities, and you'll unlock new abilities as you progress. So yeah, for now let's just try and fight some guys. Oh, and
Yeah,
by
there's
the
gonna
way,
be plenty of attacks and plenty of magic.
you can always go back and choose another target. And yes, so as I mentioned before, Ren has some healing actions. Actually, let's give her a healing action right now and see what happens. Just to explain, just to sort of,
Yeah.
give you an example of what I talked about before. So now, Ren will try to heal Morden, but we're all at full health right now. Okay? We have a ready check, press engage in combat, let's go. So first, we have Morden.
So if Morten is going to get injured, she's going to do something different then.
Yep, exactly. So now, yeah, Morden is attacking this guy, and you can pause the game at any time during the action phase if you want to, better understand what's going on. Bam. Okay.
Take some screenshots also.
Yeah.
So, and Ren has an order of a healing order right now, but since Morden hasn't taken any damage yet, obviously her healing would have been wasted on him. So let's see what she does. As you can see, she automatically reassesses her action and automatically chooses Morden's target to sort of assist him in his goal of killing the poor bandit. And there we go. Bam!
Goodbye.
Yeah.
One down.
So, as I say, yeah, the characters have a bit of an intelligence of their own. They're not dumb. They will automatically adjust to changing conditions of the battle. But you'll still need to do your best to give them the right orders. So we only have 2 targets left. Let's kill
Yeah,
this guy.
basically you assign orders in the order phase and then it resolves in the action phase. You're right. I'm replying to someone in chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so these guys are getting butchered.
Let's try healing Morden now. Actually, let's try healing ourselves. Oops. Okay, well, we won.
Too powerful.
Well,
And as you can see, after
we
the
can always
fight,
do it next time.
they automatically increase their stats depending on what abilities they use during the fight. Since we mostly fought the guys, the enemies using the melee attacks, our strength stat has increased. And we got some items. A long sword, a hammer, and a worn leather armor. Nice.
Yes. Maybe we can gather some more items around the village and explain all the stats and everything.
Yeah.
You can't change orders in the action phase now.
In the order phase. Sorry. In the action phase.
I am replying to chat. I'm reading chat and replying to questions. Someone asks if we can alter our orders during the action
Okay,
phase.
okay. I think my chat is lagging behind. Okay. Cool.
Well, I have a separate window opened with Steam, so
Alright.
it's real time there.
Yeah, you play the game, Ilya, and we'll take care of the people, and we'll give you questions and stuff.
Okay, man. Thanks.
They killed him, and it's all my fault.
Your father, was he the village elder? He was, but not anymore, thanks to me. I imagine this is going to be a problem later on. Damn right it is. Once Bottle comes looking for his missing men, we're all for the chop. Unless you have to help us. And again, we can play the, the reasonable guy here or a nasty guy. And this is kind of a, I guess, a recurring theme in the story is we don't really have, evil choices or good choices. Anton really should be explaining this. But but we are sort of, trying to stay in the gray area and mostly focus on, how you approach the situation to try to
Well, not gray. I would say rather realistic way.
Yeah.
Because when you say gray, it makes it sound like we have this depressing game where nothing matters. Whatever you choose, it's always going to lead to something awful. But it's not that. It's more. We don't have definite evil or good choices. We try to keep it real.
True. But yeah, you'll still have plenty of options to, roleplay things around the whole, mercenary leader kind of angle. But yeah, still lots of choices. And yeah, you'll see.
Guys, Stacy says, seems very cool. It reminds me of Dragon Age Origins combat, which is a very good thing. Can't wait to try out your demo. Actually, you can play our demo now if you go to our Steam page. You can just download it and try it out if you want.
Yeah, and I mean,
Well-
I guess Dragon Age, the Origins specifically, I used to play it a lot when I was younger, and well, earlier BioWare games, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights as well, served as an inspiration for the game we are making now. So you'll see some similarities. We hope it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's our roots, right?
Yeah.
I'm inspired by that also.
So what do we choose?
Well, you can't make an RPG if you don't like the RPGs.
True.
Exactly.
We don't have time to be chasing
Let's-
bandits. Let's continue with the bad guy angle. The nasty guy angle.
Then you shouldn't have got involved. If you hadn't broken that idiot's arm, my father might still be alive. This is your fault too. If you don't help us, our blood will be on your hands.
You're trying to make us feel guilty now?
I'm trying to make you feel something. I'm going after Bottle with or without you, but I'd rather it was with. If you walk away now, chances are we're all going to die. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing here, I doubt whoever is paying you will be thrilled about that. Oh, you're a smart guy, Reginald. We may live in
Holy Knight asks how many soldiers can you have in a battle?
We can have... Yeah, this is real time, guys. This is real time. We're all here.
Yeah.
We're all here right now, talking with you and playing the game. How many soldiers can you have in a battle? Up to 5 characters at once in the party. And I think we can have up to 9 characters overall, so the characters who are not in your party can will stay in reserve. Yeah, as you progress through the game, new characters will join, and you gradually increase the group size. We start with 2 in this demo, and you'll end up with 3 characters by the end of it. But after we're done with the demo, I'd also like to show, you know, a full 5-man party fighting some exciting foes. So look forward to that.
Yes.
Wait, you're saying we could just pre-record this and then? Okay, I never actually thought about this. About pre-recording it and putting it. That would make things easier, definitely.
Come on, it's fun.
But no.
Yeah, it's fun. We're a bit nervous, guys, because it's not a normal thing we do usually. But we're glad that you are asking us questions. So we just want to make a great game. So if you like to know us what you think, you can.
Yeah, we always wanted this to be about interactivity. So
Yeah,
we're
and
glad to hear your
exactly.
question.
I'd like to add that, yeah, this is pretty much the first, you know, live stream that we're doing as developers. We did some training yesterday. Anton did a solo guerrilla stream yesterday at night, which was cool. But yeah, we're learning as we go. Please guide us. So let's go back to the dialogue. We may live in the middle of nowhere, but we're still subjects of the crown. The crown, by the way, is like the ruling force of the kingdom where the events of the game take place, in which we are nominally the subjects of. So you're blackmailing us, if that's what it takes. Come on, Morden. There's no way around it. We have to help. Not if we kill him here and now.
Let's go for that.
Yeah,
You're cruel.
I'm going all in the, you know, bad guy angle. Hey, that'll make us popular with the villagers. We still need to wait for Sigurd to show up, remember? Okay, yes, you cannot kill Reginald here. We'll help, okay, but it'll cost you.
We could use some extra money, right?
Yeah. Of course it will. You're no different from them, paid killers. I can give you gold, but only if Bodil dies, slowly and painfully. You want us to kill Bodil? No, I kill him. You kill his men. I can't take them all on by myself. We can help you, but we can't just go waiting in there. What do you suggest then? If we don't go after them, they'll come after us. They will, and you'll be ready. It's better to meet the enemy on your own turf. Yeah, we can help you prepare for the next time they come, and anyone after them. Give a man a fish, you know how it goes. Our friends from before won't be needing their
Again,
weapons.
there is a question about battles from Holy Knight. He asks if we can change starting positions of the characters in battles.
Not really, but the position doesn't really affect the battle that much. As I guess I'll explain it in a bit more detail a bit later, but basically, yeah. I don't know. I need to think about this. Listen, meet me here in the morning. I'll have a plan by then. Typical. What Sigurd got us into here, and where the hell is he anyway? And as you can see, guys, so it's night now, so we have, you know, changing time and so on, and locations will actually change sort of dynamically depending on what happens. As you'll also see later in the demo, there can be some pretty drastic changes happening to some of the locations.
And music changes also.
That's
It's the same song but arranged differently, so it's more light and nighttime thingy.
Well, we can worry about that in the morning. I've had enough for one day. And something tells me that guy has a busy day planned for us tomorrow. What do you make of our new friend? Well, he's clearly not your average bumpkin. You saw the dagger under his shirt, right? think this bottle is the reason Sigurd wanted to meet us here? Oh yeah, and we don't really know why we are here yet. We just got, you know, a missive saying get your asses to the northern village because and meet with Sigurd and he will give you more info. So we really need to find Sigurd to kind of figure out what's going on and why are we here. No idea. We'll have to ask him when he gets there. If Bodil and his men don't get here first. I doubt they'll leave us alone just because we're outsiders. And besides, they'll find out what we did to their friends soon enough. Alright, let's see what tomorrow brings, little sister. You mean besides backache and grass in my hair? Sure. I was still hoping for a feather bed.
Yeah, basically we're in deep shit now, so we need to help this Reginald guy.
Or else we're going to have trouble.
Well, that
Look
was
at the
about
dog
as
again.
good night's sleep as I expected. We've had worse. Come on, we've got a job to do. There you are. Let's meet with that fellow from yesterday and see what he has to say. But before we do that, guys, let's take a look at the items we've received in the battle before. And just, you know, generally take a look about around the map. So first, let's go over the, you know, the stats of the characters. We have three main stats: strength, intelligence, and versatility, which kind of govern the power, the damage, and the effectiveness of healing abilities and so on of your characters in battle. And depending on the weapon you use, those stats will affect the damage in different ways. To explain that, if we take a look at the longsword, you'll see the stat scaling section, and you'll see it's divided into physical and magical. So whenever you're using a physical ability like attack or shield smash, you're using your physical stat scaling of your currently equipped weapon. Whenever you're casting a spell, you're using the magical stat scaling instead. So in our case, the longsword has the physical stat scaling of 2 with strength and 1 with versatility. And Morden's strength is 16, versatility is 15, pretty equal. But let's take a look at the hammer. And as you can see, the hammer has a physical scaling of 3, but a magical scaling of 2 with intelligence. So in the character stats window, you can see that you know, physical power goes down a bit when you're trying to equip the hammer. But it,
Yeah,
yep.
Also, yeah. Oh, maybe.
our stream broke. Can you share your screen on Discord? It just broke.
Oh, okay.
And we can see your video.
Hold on, that's weird. Tech problems, guys. Sorry.
That's alright, I guess. Okay, here we go. That's your face.
Okay, seems to work. I mean, I can see the game screen. Okay. Okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. Seeing it
There we
now.
go. Yeah, sorry. Where were we?
Hold on. I'm just making sure that we're seeing the right thing. Yep, we're back. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, and with the hammer, I was just explaining how the physical power and magical power scaling works.
Exactly.
So, yeah, as you can see, the physical power drops just a little bit if you try to equip the hammer. That's because of the bonus stats. And all the weapons can have some bonus stats on them as well. Longsword has a physical power of 3 bonus. The hammer only has 1, so you're seeing a little bit of a drop here. If we would increase the strength of Morden a little bit further, the hammer will actually probably win over the longsword in this case. Let's give it a try, actually.
Because of a better scaling.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Dark Souls. And yeah, you can also see in the tooltips for the abilities something called the ability power, which basically shows the approximate efficiency, the approximate damage of the ability against an unarmored target. So as your characters progress, you can see, you know, your abilities getting stronger and so on. And if we compare this to Ren, we'll see that Ren's attack with the two-handed sword has ability power of 75. So she's doing a little bit more damage than Morton with his hammer and the shield.
So can you train a character to a max stat? Asks Holy Knight.
Hold on.
Can you train characters to a max stat?
There's not really something like a cap to our stats, I think. However, I mean, as you progress, as your strength and as your stats increase, increasing them further will take more and more time. So there's a bit of a diminishing return. But technically, you can take a character with a low, let's say, strength, give them a two-handed sword, and put them through a bunch of battles, and they'll just increase their strength naturally, kind of becoming stronger. So there's a lot of freedom in there. You can make, you know, mages out of warriors. You can make warriors out of mages as well. You can really, you know, choose how you want to shape your characters. However, something to keep in mind is that as you progress, you know, experience costs become bigger and require, you know, more and more battles to progress. So you better be choosing, you know, the kind of character that you want to make out of your characters early on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. In the final game, we'll probably have, you know, methods of providing some ways, you know, to grind experience and just, you know, level up the abilities and stats that you feel are lacking for your characters. If you feel that you're under leveled.
And certain ability unlocks can be added too, like this dialogue. For example, you can find some trainer who can teach you an ability or something. We're considering this, adding this as well.
Exactly, yeah. And also, as the characters progress, as their abilities, as their main stats become stronger, they will also automatically, you know, update, unlock additional ability groups. For example, Ren starts with just restoration magic, but as she levels up, she will also, well, as she gains new stats, she will also unlock protection magic and so on. So, yeah, we also had an armor. Let's equip Ren with worn leather armor. And yeah, physical power, magical power, physical defense, magical defense. These are pretty self-explanatory. Basically, whenever you deal damage, well, physical damage, that's being affected by the target's physical defense. Whenever you're dealing magical damage, that's affected by magical defense. And you also have the critical chance and evasion rate, and those basically, crit is just increased ability damage whenever crit happens. Evasion gives you a chance to avoid the damage partially or completely. And as we can see here, critical hits and certain attacks cannot be fully avoided. And then, since Morton is using a shield, he also has block chance. And whenever you block, depending on the shield you're using, some of the damage of that you're taking will be, you know, taken by the shield, and you'll take reduced amount of damage. Then we have speed, preparation, and max health. Max health is kind of obvious, except, well, in our game, an important difference is that our health of the characters is restored to maximum automatically after each fight. However, if all of your characters fall in battle, you're dead, you lose. You'll have to restart the battle or reload the game. But other than that, if you win with just one character standing, you'll still win, and the other characters will be restored to life sort of automatically. They're not really dead until everyone is dead, they're just knocked out. Then the speed stat governs the order of character actions in battle. As you've seen in the battle before, the characters were appearing on a timeline of sorts, and that's what the speed stat defines. And the order is actually also affected by the type of ability and the ability cost of the ability used. So higher cost abilities will usually be inherently slower than faster, well, lower cost abilities. So you really have to, you know, pay attention to the order of actions that you're acting in. And the final stat is preparation, which defines the number of action points that the character generates each turn. It also affects the amount of action points that generator abilities restore when used. So it's really one of the most important stats in the game right now, really, because it directly affects, you know, how strong.
What you can do in battle.
What you can do and how soon you can use the stronger abilities in battle, basically. Though in this demo, since we're pretty, you know, low level in this demo, all the characters have the preparation value of 1. But keep in mind that preparation, well, all stats really can also be affected by buffs. So, and buffs are provided by different abilities. So in case of Morden, since Morden is a fighter, he starts automatically with a passive ability called Charge, which increases his speed when he's not engaged with any target. So for example, when you just start the battle, Morden's speed will automatically be buffed. So he'll be just a little bit more faster to, you know, to reach his target, which will obviously affect his, you know, order on the timeline. But then once he gets engaged, once, you know, the fight starts and he starts attacking someone, that's what's called engagement, basically. And his speed will drop down to his normal value of 10.
I think this is a good chance to explain a little bit about our positioning and engagement.
I want to explain that, but
you.
let's do it a bit later once we get into the battle, so I can actually that I can actually show what's going on, because engagement is a really important concept. And I really want to get to it. Okay, but first of all, let's take a look at the map.
Yes, yes.
So we have some question mark here
Look at this
and
view.
here. Let's take a look.
The birds.
Yeah, they're just flying, chilling around.
Yeah,
Shoo!
for now.
Oh.
That was a stubborn bird.
Actually, that reminds me. When I slept tonight, the bird just kept knocking on my window and like making bird sounds, and it really didn't help me sleep. I tried to scare it off, but it just didn't fly away. It was there for a couple of hours. I don't know what was so attractive about my window for this bird, but yeah.
Maybe it wanted to make a nest in your house.
Very good.
It was asking you to let you in. So we
Yeah,
found
maybe.
we found a banded weapon cage and some weapons. Let's take a look at what we found. Yeah, we actually have an inventory screen that allows you to, you know, quickly check what items you have in your backpacks, basically. So right now we have some miscellaneous. We have a stash note.
I'm gonna rip one finger off you for every coin shard from selling this, Klaus.
Bottle. And then we have a
Some fingers.
cage full of low quality arms which bandits hid at the northern shore. Nothing usable for your group, but can be sold to a merchant. So right now this item doesn't really do anything. You can sell it to a vendor, but we are considering, you know, using it in a side quest later on. And since the game is in active development, we're still working on, you know, adding side quests and side activities to the game. So you might see some items that don't really do much right now, but they will in the final game. So we found a green weapon, an uncommon sword called Falchion. Curved sword used commonly by southern pirates, and as you can see, the stats are pretty good. And you can go to a quick window. Let's check it out. As you can see,
Yeah, it's one of the best weapons of the demo.
Yeah, it's one of the best weapons in the demo, indeed, I agree. So if you compare it with the hammer, we start with 49 physical power, and with the falchion, our physical power goes to 62, our physical defense increases, and we also don't take the hit to evasion that we're getting from the hammer, because the hammer is heavy right now. Hammer is really more of a healing weapon, which we usually give to Ren when we playtest the game, but since our Ren right now is very unorthodox and using a greatsword instead, actually, let's give Ren a halberd, so she can use both her healing magic and, you know, two-handed abilities with equal efficiency. As you can see, halberd has a magical scaling of 2 with intelligence, which gives it quite a bit more magical power compared to greatsword. 16 on greatsword versus 31 on the halberd. So her low healing goes to 47, wasn't 35 I think before. Yeah, 32 before. 47 with the halberd. Pretty cool. And now we are ready.
I actually never tried being ran with halberd.
Oh really? I think.
When I get halberd, I always reserve it for Siegward.
Okay. When I was playtesting one of our first, you know, early prototypes, I think I did playthroughs with like all weapon combinations just to make sure that they were all possible. You know? So I'm gonna save the game right now because we're about to face a challenging, dangerous foe. As you can see, it's a bear. And the bear is just, you know, chilling around, minding its own business, gnawing on someone. Oh my god, it's noticed that. Run away, run away.
What?
So the bear is pretty slow, so we can run away. You know, we can outrange it. In case people who played the demo already tried the bear, yeah, you can run away from it. Spatial Katana is saying, just play the demo, no bugs, quite enjoyed it so far. Thank you! Thank you, we're very happy that you're enjoying it. And yeah, we spent a lot of time debugging the game, making sure that it was as polished as possible for this. So we're very happy to hear that it's working for you. So let's take on the bear. Tall brown bear, 240 HP. And by the way, you can press, if you're playing with a gamepad, you can press right trigger or left trigger to, you know, view the detailed stats of your characters in battle. And if you're playing with mouse and keyboard, you can just hover the mouse over them, like this. Hold on, now you can see. Like this, and it appears automatically. Then you unhover it, disappears. And you can also see that, you know, the buff effects are also shown in the current stats during battle, so you can see how exactly all of the buff effects and debuff effects are affecting your characters at the moment. So right now, charge is active, Morden is not engaged with anyone, as it's shown here, not engaged, so his speed is 12. And now I'd like to talk a bit about the engagement system in our game. So, as you might know already, our game does not really have, you know, a player-controlled movement. All our characters in battle move around the battlefield automatically, depending on what orders you give them. And that's directly tied to something called engagement. So each character, by default, has one engagement slot. That means that they can, you know, engage one target in melee combat. And when that happens, they're sort of, you know, locked to each other. And if another character attacks the same target who only has one engagement slot, what will happen instead of, you know, another engagement is you'll get a side attack. If another character attacks, you also get a side attack. Then if the fourth character attacks the same target, you'll get a rear attack, and so on and so forth. And there are also some fights and some buffs and abilities that affect the number of engagement slots of each character. So if you level up as a sword and shield character, for example, you'll unlock a passive that increases the number of your engagement slots to 2, which means now that your character can now engage up to 2 targets simultaneously without getting flanked. And I hope that made sense.
I think you should kind of try it for yourself to understand it better. But as far as explanation goes, I guess this is fine.
Yeah, so
For
yeah,
now.
Exactly.
I guess the important thing is that all the side attacks and so on, the opportunities and so on, are all decided by engagement. So if your character is engaging a target and then tries to run away, there's a chance that if that target still tries to, you know, pursue your character and attack them, they'll score an opportunity attack against you. And that also works for your characters against enemy targets. And let's try it against the bear, actually. The bear only has one engagement. He's a normal enemy. So if we attack it with Morton, that means it will be engaged to Morton. That takes one slot. Then if Ren attacks as well, she should be able to side attack the bear. Let's give it a try. Morton goes in, bam, hits the bear.
Spatial Kidana asks if we can control anyone besides Morton.
During the exploration, yeah, you only control Morton since Morton is your main character. We were considering letting you control other characters before, but for story reasons, which I can't really tell because of, you know, spoilers, we decided to, you know, just stay with Morton. So, and yeah, as you've seen, Ren scored a side attack.
Will make sense in the end, right?
Yeah. And now you can see that Morton has this little, you know, one icon over here. And if you hover over him, it's saying engaging adult brown bear. And all the characters participating in battles have these little, you know, square icons. Our party characters have colored icons. The enemy characters have numbered icons. So you can always easily, you know, see who is engaging who. And technically you can always disengage by pressing X on the gamepad, and that will cause the character to, you know, escape from the engagement. But if the target that he was engaging previously chooses to pursue them, they will automatically get an opportunity attack, increasing the damage they do. So yeah, be careful with that. So
Well, let's see if we can kill the bear now.
Right.
right. Let's concentrate fire. Bam. It's almost dead. It's almost a side attack, as you can see. There we go, 45 damage. It's almost dead, but I think Morton is about to go down. Whoa!
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, that was lucky.
That was lucky. So yeah, the characters, as I explained before, they have the evasion stat, which is by default 5%. I think it's lower for Morton because he's using a shield and some heavy armor. Actually, we can check that. Yeah, his evasion, if we check here, is only 3%. So we got pretty lucky here. So I think the bear is about to die.
Yeah, he's done.
Okay.
Attack him, attack him!
Dispatch them.
And Morton is down. Well, that's okay.
Oh!
There we go. Ren just scored a critical and finished the bear. And as you can see, Morton's stats has just went up against strength. And he was knocked out in the battle, but he's going to be alright because we won.
Exactly.
Here we go. Spatial Katana. I found the combat intuitive, easy to pick enemy action as you see. Thank you. Really needs to heal him, lol. Usually, yeah, we make Ren heal a lot, but right now I'm trying to do this, you know, two-handed playthrough for her. So she's mostly focusing on attacking, and I just want to see how far I can get her through the playthrough. If I can, you know, unlock some new abilities for two-handed weapons with her. Actually, we just got a double axe, and this will be the first time I see Ren wielding the double axe, which is a really good weapon, by the way.
Yeah, that's for me as well. First one.
Also chainmail. Let's take a look.
Yeah, chainmail is OP.
So Morton is our tank right now, so let's give him the chainmail, increasing his defense a little bit. let's give Ren the leather armor. So now we have
Facial Katana asks if there is any info on release date.
right now we can only say this year, later this year, and we'll definitely announce the specific date once we have it. So as you can see, with the actually this is an interesting example of how the stat scaling works. With Morton, double axe is almost always the best weapon to use during the demo. However, with Ren, if we're using the halberd, we're getting 55 physical power and 31 magical power. But if we are to switch to double axe, we are only increasing our physical power by 1 point, but at the same time, pretty much halving our magical power, because Ren doesn't have that much of in her strength stat, but her intelligence and versatility are pretty high. So halberd is a better choice for her, I think, in this case.
So we're equipped, right? Okay. Now we could go find Reginald, or we could explore the map just a little bit more, maybe.
I'm just gonna take one question mark before we. Oh yeah, let's check the world map actually. So yeah, this is the map of the kingdom where the events of the game take place. We are around here right now, and as you can see, the Murk is this weird magical fog thing that's covering basically the whole length of the Northern Sea, and people trying to enter don't come back, and as well, no one ever comes out from the other side. So people, yeah, it's been around for a really long time, and people kind of, got used to it. But yeah, it's a really interesting thing, and it's kind of really related to the plot, as you will see later on.
It holds a lot of surprises. Wow.
Okay.
Thank you for playing Spatial Katana, and thank you for watching. You approach the scene of the battle with the bandits. No trace of the previous day's violence remains, and yet an ominous heaviness hangs in the air. The elder son stands motionless next to a fire. His face is pale, and he clearly hasn't slept. Good morning, travelers. I never introduced myself. Name's Reginald. Can't say it's a pleasure under these circumstances. So, did you come up with a plan? Here's what we're going to do. We head to the bandits' hideout. You distract the guards while I sneak up on Bottle. It's a cave in the woods to the east of here. I'll go on ahead, wait for you. Don't make me wait too long. And before we follow him, let's just check here really quickly.
Yes.
Dagger Amulet, which is our first accessory. And since Ren is our main damage dealer, I think in this case, let's give it to her, raising her physical power to 60.
And now we can pretty much follow Reginald, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if you want to.
Tread quietly now, the cave's just up ahead. What's our next move? There's only the one guard. I'll take him out nice and quietly. Then we go inside and take Bottle and his men by surprise. No, I want to talk to him first. Why reveal ourselves?
Yeah, there's one option.
Go ahead.
There's one option where you actually, well, that the guy from outside comes with you inside, and there's more enemies. Can we try that one?
Yeah.
See if we can do it.
I actually want to try that right now.
Yes, let's go for it.
Yeah, I had a hard time playing this battle yesterday.
Oh yeah, I saw.
I mean, I had to reload. I didn't expect this.
Let's see.
It was shameful.
You, what are you doing here? You got business with us, or are you just looking for trouble? Business.
And you think I'm about to let armed strangers stroll right by? Piss off back the way you came.
We need to speak to Bottle.
Oh, do you? Do you? What about?
We've got weapons to sell. So if you remember, we picked up the bandit weapon cage earlier, and having that actually unlocks this option. So we sort of can use it to persuade our way into the cave.
That's right. What makes you think Bottle wants to buy them?
Because they're his. We looted your stash.
And you're stupid enough to come here and tell us that to our faces. You got a dash with you or something?
Nope. Which is why we've hidden them somewhere you'll never find them. Kill us, and they're gone for good.
Ah, sneaky bastards. Fine, follow me, but you'll regret trying to play smart with Bottle.
Marcus is saying, looks funny. Heroes are dressed in knightly clothes and NPC in a business suit. I assume you're talking about Reginald, but that's actually not like a business suit. But yeah, as you'll see later in the game, in the later chapters, they're quite, you know, well-developed parts of the kingdom as well. You know, big cities where there's a trading guild and so on. So people are a lot better dressed than, you know, some hoodlums living in the north.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Boss, we've got
Especially
company.
Syndicate.
Who the hell are you? You've got 10 seconds to state your business. Make it good.
You notice Reginald sneaking up behind Bottle. If this is going to work, you need to keep talking. And here we have some important choices to make. For you to negotiate, where you have your weapons.
Huh? So you found a little treasure trove. And I suppose that's why this idiot let you in. Oh, you've got balls, I'll give you that. But not much in the way of brains. Once I've chopped a couple of Missy's ears, fingers off, you'll soon...
There we go.
And he's dead.
Assassination
Nice.
successful. Reginald sinks his dagger into Bottle's back, leaving the bandit's threat unfinished. He's dead before he hits the floor. His men hesitate, but only for a moment.
Actually, we just killed a main character, like a main party character.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way.
Okay, so now
I
we
think
have.
it's spoilers, so we probably shouldn't go into detail about that, but
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
not,
exactly.
let's not go in detail about that, but I would suggest for people watching the stream who are going to try the demo for themselves afterwards, try to take a different choice in the dialogue that I was playing through right now and see what happens.
So we're against 5 enemies,
Yeah,
and there's just 3 of us.
but we have Ren using a halberd, so nothing could go wrong. So let's do this. With Morton, let's attack the bandit healer. With Ren, let's attack Faster. Faster looks like a rogue, so he's probably quick and so on. And we probably want to keep him controlled, because he looks like a boss character. And if we let him run around the battlefield doing whatever he then pleases, we might very well wipe, and we don't want to do that, right, guys?
yeah. I've had enough of that yesterday. I mean, I replayed this battle for like I don't remember 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
That was pretty tough. I mean, it's one of the tougher fights if you know, if you take a different choice here. It becomes pretty tough, but
Yeah.
you know, it should be fun. As you can see, in this case, Reginald is actually has joined our party as a guest character. We cannot control him. He will act automatically based on his AI, but he'll still help us fight the bandits. Actually, checking this, he's about to attack the healer himself, which means we might let him do that. Oh yeah, just to explain. So, as you can see, healer has a number 4 over here, below her portrait, and Reginald over here has a fist and the red 4 right next to him, which is saying that he's going to attack the healer in
the next turn. So, and the healer has a really low amount of health, which means that if both attack him with Morton and Reginald, that will probably be a bit of an overkill. But, yeah. Let's attack Fester with Morton as well. All out on Fester.
Yeah, better dispose of him. The faster you dispose of him, the better.
And as you can see, we just got an opportunity attack on Fester. And just to explain why that happened, Fester was preparing a buff ability to use on himself. And whenever a character is preparing to use a buff ability on themselves, they're open for opportunity attacks from, you know, your characters. And that also affects your characters if you're using a buff on yourself. Be careful how you time it, and make sure that, you know, no one is engaging you, because you'll take extra damage if you take an attack of opportunity. And now Ren is doing a side attack against Fester, and that was really quick.
He's down.
Go, Reginald, go.
So Reginald is actually
Nice.
really strong. He looks like he doesn't. He looks like he doesn't amount to much, but yeah. But now he's hobbled. And let's just check what hobbled means. As you can see, hobbled decreased speed 2 turns, so his speed is now 6 instead of whatever it was before, which means that he is a lot slower than most other characters. However, yeah. I mean, he's still pretty fast. He's still acting faster than the 2 bandits that are left on the battlefield. So let's help him with Morton by attacking the bandit guard. And in the meantime, let's have Ren take care of this guy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Side attack.
Yeah.
So this was interesting as well. Ren also just got opportunity, and the reason for that is this bandit over here was probably going to attack a different character, but was engaged to Ren in the previous turn. And while he was trying to run, Ren basically sort of intercepted his action, kept him engaged to her, and also dealt the bonus damage because of the opportunity. So, and that becomes possible thanks to Ren's high speed and, you know, basically paying attention to who is acting in which order, and you know, giving your characters the right orders can allow you to, you know, basically take control of the battlefield and disable the enemies from performing the actions that they want to perform, which is important if you want to win. Bam. Okay.
Another one down. Reginald doesn't seem to feel too good.
Yeah, so he now has 2 debuffs affecting him. He's both hobbled and has a broken armor, which decreases his physical defense, which means that he'll take more physical damage. But we are 3 against 2 right now, so that should be fine. So, and this deserter is right now engaging Reginald. Let's see if we can peel him off Reginald with Morton. And in the meantime, Ren will continue her attack against Deserter. There we go. So Morton just unlocked a new ability called Shield Bash. And Morton just finished her target, and we won. So yeah, as I explained previously, as the characters are using their abilities, they will automatically unlock new abilities in the same ability group. And since Morton was using the attack ability and sort of shield group a lot, he just unlocked the Shield Bash ability, which is actually really strong. We got some weapons and a bit of coin. Bottle's done, Bottle's dead, so why don't I feel any better? What did you expect? It's just, I thought I'd feel, I don't know, vindicated? But my father's still dead, what am I supposed to do now? Revenge is easy, what comes after not so much. Maybe you're right, something to think about on our way back to the village, eh? Yeah, let's get moving. Ren! I say Ren! Huh? Who's that? Martin, look who I found. So it is you,
Sigvard.
my dearest darling Ren. I thought I recognized those dulcet tones. Yeah, we just found Sigvard, the guy we were tasked with finding when we just arrived in the village.
What
are you doing
he's doing on the cake?
All in good time, Morton, old friend. Would you mind awfully letting me out first? Alright, out you come. Much obliged. Now, would you anyone object if we adjourn to somewhere a little less fetid? Yeah, I could do with some fresh air. And we just had a new ally join our party. Let's take a look at some items over here. We have wooden stuff.
People tend to miss this weapon pile. Like they don't really see it, so maybe we could make it shine more or something.
Yeah, I mean we added the sparkly effect in the latest version, I think. But we might just increase the sparkly effect for some of the items, like, depending on the size of the container. The sparkly effect is bigger or something like that. And as you can see, there is a camp. There's a camp icon below the minimap right now. Well, below our faces, really, on the stream if you're watching. And that means that we can actually adjust our party in this location now.
Well, if they didn't watch us, they wouldn't be able to hear you. So that was unnecessary.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have Sigurd. Sigurd is a mage. He has a bunch of destruction magic abilities. He has an ability called Sparks. And he has a passive ability called Arcane Feedback, which applies arcane feedback. Casting offensive spells increases preparation until next turn. And as I explained, preparation is very, very important in battles, because it directly affects how often you can use your stronger but more costly abilities in battle. So Sigurd having this ability really means that he can dish quite a little bit of damage. But since he's a mage, he's quite squishy. He only has 96 health, not a lot of defense, and a low strength, but a lot of intelligence. Let's equip him. Give him the staff. Yeah.
What if we give him a shield also?
We can, because stuff is two-handed.
We can give him a hammer
That
and a
we
shield.
can equip.
Yeah, hammer and shield, I was thinking.
I mean, yeah, that's a good way to, counteract his squishiness by giving him a bit of a, block rate. That's a good idea. And as you
Hammer
can see,
gives a bit of magic points.
yeah, if we compare hammer to wooden staff, the magical power is actually the same, because they're both made of wood, and wood in our game is kind of good for, channeling magic energy. Okay. So we've got some new items. Got an army issue sword and an army issue rapier, but as you can see, they're both a bit worse than the falchion for Morton. We'll just keep him equipped with what he has. And for Ren, you can see Iron Great Axe is doing exactly the same damage as the halberd, but also halves our magical power. And the double axe is still only doing 1 point of damage above the halberd. So, yeah. Let's just keep it as is and continue.
Let's go back.
Ah, the sweet smell of freedom. How long it's been. It would have been a good deal shorter if you two had thought to find me sooner. We didn't even know you were there.
Clearly, I was beginning to worry I might have to try and get myself out of trouble. How did you end up in that cage? It's rather a funny story, actually. I came here looking for some extra pairs of hands. Brist led me to believe we might well need some, you see. Who knew bandits were to be trusted? Anton, can you explain who Brist is for our watchers?
Brist is a leader of our mercenary gang, basically, and he's like a father figure to our main characters, Morten and Ren. We don't know much about him at this point, but we are going to learn a lot about him during the game, throughout the story, and we're going to learn kind of, a lot of interesting things about him. Some things you wouldn't necessarily expect to learn.
Yeah, there's some good plot twists coming down the way. So, are you going to tell us what we're doing here? Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, if you're playing this, you can always scroll the dialogue up if you missed a line or something. Well, you're never going to believe it. I could hardly believe it myself when I heard. Get on with it, conjurer. Now listen carefully, and don't doubt my sanity or my sources. All that I'm about to tell you, I heard directly from Brist himself. Something is coming from the north. The first ship in 200 years. And guess where it's going to land? That's right. Fascinating, no? And you're sure about all this? Have Hera's prophecies ever proven false before? I'm reliably informed that this was the last she made before meeting her untimely end. We all have this question right now, right? Who's Hera?
Yeah.
Who is Hera indeed? Why, only the greatest seer of our age knows every word the crone hangs in a fervor of anticipation, or rather, used to. Alas, she was not entirely herself towards the end, and bequeathed us only fleeting glimpses of beyond the veil. But one thing is certain, a ship will come, one not of the shore, and it will land here. Okay, how do you know all this? Why, Brist told me, as I believe I mentioned, and certain other of my sources have confirmed the tale. These visitors, whoever they may be, must be presumed to pose a threat. The crown simply requires us to assess the magnitude thereof. Why me and Ren? Brist orders, and who better than we, his most feared and ferocious hounds of war, to undertake so historic a task. Alright, I think I've heard enough. Oh, you haven't heard the half of it. But bandits really are the most atrocious cooks. What say we head to that charming little hamlet or yonder for well-deserved bite to eat? Sure, and while we're there, you can explain to us why they didn't just kill you. Keeper knows I would have. Kill me? One of Brist's most trusted lieutenants? Oh, you should have seen their faces when I dropped that little gem into the conversation. Now dinner.
We should hire you, Ilya, for some voiceovers.
Yeah. I thought the same thing.
I'm doing my best. Okay, so we killed the bear. We looted all that we could loot.
And actually, this is the first time this track is sounding also outside of the village night music.
Oh yeah, I really like it. Actually, we should talk about the combat music in the next fight.
Yeah.
Which is coming
Yeah,
soon.
I know.
First. Oh, how wonderful it is to be back. Al fresco dining and all the simple peasant folk so deliciously earthy. Now, I don't know about you two, but I'm very much looking forward to the novelty of sleeping lying down. Business can wait for now. We'll talk more
Favorite
over
line.
breakfast. Actually, make it lunch. And for the people who started watching us
somewhat recently. We are actually doing this online in real time, so if you have any questions to us, we are reading the chat. Let us know if you have any. We'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so
Yeah, we're the developers.
good, you're up. Something is wrong. God, feels like I only closed my eyes 5 seconds ago. Well, look lively, something's going on. Comrades, comrades, our visitors are about to land. Oh, you're up. Visitors. A ship. A fisherman has spotted a ship emerging from the Murk. All is as Hera foretold it. It's true then. Alright, what do we do? Any ideas, Morton? What do we do, guys? Oop. So Discord just died again. I'm just recovering it. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Discord crashed again, but we are good now, I think.
we're good, we're good. So let's go at the shore, right? Let's meet them at the shore.
Yeah, let's do that. Probably for the best, eh? These people aren't fighters, and those bandits you butchered were the nearest thing they had to protectors. Should any unpleasantness occur, they will only get in the way. I'm not so sure. There are able-bodied men in here in the village. And these walls may not be much, but they're better than nothing. Remember, we have no idea what we're up against here. No, Sigurd has a point, and we don't need civilian blood on our hands. If we die, the village is done for anyway. But if that's your decision, we go to the shore. And after this dialogue, some people get confused, but you can still choose where you want to go. But yeah, we'll stay true to our plan and just head to the shore. For a nice cinematic, no less. As you can see, it's really foggy, and you can just make out the shape of a ship over there. Do you see it? Aha! It's true! A ship! The first in 200 years! I wouldn't get too excited. That's a warship. Brace yourselves. They're coming ashore.
Oh no!
Nice Viking music.
Whoa. We're in deep shit here.
With every step they take, the air grows colder, and then, from nowhere, snow begins to fall. Well, that's quite the party. Judging by their expressions, however, the strangers seem as surprised by the sudden change of weather as everybody else. One warrior stands at the head of the group, a particularly impressive axe upon his back. This must be their leader. Identify yourselves. The man cocks his head in puzzlement. He opens his mouth to speak, but no sound emerges, only an excruciating nothingness that stabs like 1,000 tiny needles at the brain. What the hell? Sigurd turns to you, his eyes watering, and speaks through gritted teeth. This is fascinating! Why have you come here? He doesn't react. He just stands there, his expression blank. He doesn't understand. Do you think he can even hear us? Lay down your weapons. This is your last chance. It's no good. It's clear from his reaction that he thinks these are the fighting words. He reaches for his axe. We have a fight coming our way.
I just love this part where they can't really speak, but this nothingness comes out. I just love it.
So, I mean, they look like humans. They they bleed, as we will see soon enough. But they came from the Murk, so whoever knows what's going on here. And the snow is falling. Why is the snow falling all of a sudden? Anton, what do you think?
I don't know. I actually have no idea.
At least at this point.
I
of the
think
story.
I think I will have some idea when I actually finish the fourth chapter. I don't know.
Right, and for the record, guys, whoever is watching us right now, so this is the beginning of the first chapter of the game, and the final game is going to have 4 chapters in it. And I mentioned before that we're aiming at about 20 to 30 hours for a full walkthrough, doing some side quests, but not all of them. So you can expect quite a bit more. So yeah, we're 3 against 5, and this guy looks dangerous. This guy, Raider Shaman, is a healer probably. He has some nice tattoos and a lovely beard, and also these lovely twin tails
And the hammer.
and a hammer. So what do you think we should do?
I'd go for the chief first.
Okay.
He does more damage than everybody else. I disposed of him as fast as I could.
Yeah, he also has a lot of health.
Yeah, that's what I always do.
Let's just go all out on him.
Yeah.
And also, as you can see, so Sigurd has the Sparks ability, which is a spell, and unlike most abilities that we've seen before, it's a ranged ability. So you can use it in both ranged and melee mode, depending on the situation on the battlefield. If you want to create an engagement between Sigurd and another character, you'd use the melee version. So, for example, if you want to intercept some character's attack, you do that by engaging them in melee. So, but they would obviously retaliate against Sigurd. Also, Sigurd is using the stuff. I think we forgot to equip him with the shield. Okay.
Yeah,
But
should be fine though.
the range, and yeah, so since if we use it as melee, it's all the melee rules are applicable. So if we're attacking a target that is already engaged to someone, we get a side attack and so on. But this doesn't happen with the ranged attack. Ranged attacks do not create engagement between characters, which can be very beneficial depending on the situation. For example, some enemies later in the game could retaliate every attack made against them when engaged, and someone like Sigurd could get killed by that, like when fighting a boss, for example. So it might be wise to stay in range and attack from a safe distance. Let's actually try doing that right now. Let's go.
Okay.
Bomb.
Go, Ren, go.
Okay.
I am going a little more.
Nice.
Yes.
Block.
You shall not pass.
Good job, Morton. Okay, Morton is tanking everyone. Sigurd is taking heat. Okay, I think so. We're 3 against 4 now, and we've just taken out the most dangerous one of them. We're in a pretty good situation here, which means we can play it by ear. I think. Let's just have. Actually, let's have Morton take out the Raider Shaman, so he doesn't heal anything.
Yeah, it's a good option.
And then have. Let's have Ren. So I'm going to show a bit of a tricky play here. So as you can see, Ren is very quick. She can act before the Raider here. This Raider is actually the last one to act. As you can see on the timeline, he's over here. Ren's here. So we'll tell her to go attack this Raider. And now we have Sigurd, who is currently engaged to the Raider. And yeah, while engaged, you cannot use your ranged abilities as ranged against the engaged target anymore. You can only use the melee. However, if we switch to another target, you still have an option to, use the ranged attack or melee attack against them. So this lets us both attack a different target and disengage Sigvard from his current target, getting him out of the harm's way. And since Ren is acting faster than his current engager, she will, re-engage him, and she won't allow him to, pursue Sigvard, and therefore save him from, any attacks of opportunity.
Some high-level tactics here.
There we go. He blocks.
Oh,
And Morton shield bash. Morton's actually really strong if you are giving him sword and shield, as I've found.
yeah, I'm actually really liking it.
He has a lot of strength, and he has a lot of health as well, and naturally high defense. So he's pretty good as a tank. And he's also dealing a lot of damage as a tank. And Ren is down.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay. That's not good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're pretty much fucked up, right?
Let's see what happens.
We can still win. Thanks.
We can still win, yeah. There we go, only 13 damage.
Especially if you're lucky.
Only, you see? Only 1 and 3 damage, so yeah,
Wow.
he's really tough. So, let's take him. And as you can see, this guy is dual wielding, which means that he can do a lot of fast attacks and he can technically do a lot of damage. But against heavily armored characters, like Morton here, his damage is severely diminished. However, as we have seen before, he was really, really efficient when taking out Sigvard. Okay, let's see if Morton can save the day. Oh no!
Oh,
That was unlucky.
We can still do it, maybe? Maybe not.
oh, doesn't look like now.
Let's try it. Let's try it. Come on. Come on. Come on.
How many health does he have left? 8 health.
8 health.
Okay, if we take out the shield bearer.
Shield bash, let's annihilate.
Okay, let's play it safe.
You can do this.
Okay, it's done.
You can do this. Yes.
Now block.
And-
block. No,
and-
if we get a lucky block. Oh shit.
It's still alive.
We have 3
Oh
health.
my God.
We really need a block here. Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god, this was so close.
That was
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's try a different approach.
I say that we should still take the Raider Chief first.
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah.
I'll have to leave you for a couple of minutes, guys. I'll be back.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's fine.
See if we can get him down in 1 turn again. We probably can, but
Yeah.
okay, he's down. So we can technically take any one of these characters down in 1 turn, but we have to be really careful about, not taking too much damage in the process, because I'm not using any healing right now.
Yeah, and Ren is
Yeah, Ren is
quite hard at the moment.
Okay. Oh my god,
Oh, oh shit.
that was really close.
Okay, who's the most annoying of all of them?
Let's take. So I'm thinking basically with Shield Bash, Morton can take out any enemy, well, most enemies in one hit, because he deals about 100 damage with it, which means that
Yeah.
this guy is probably not a good target, but this guy and this lady here are both viable. Let's take her out first.
Yeah.
Let's and with Ren, let's try and kill this guy, and also
Maybe Sigvard can. Yeah, exactly.
and yeah, do this, and let's see what happens.
Doesn't get.
Oh no, she's not dead. Okay.
Oh no!
But this guy will probably be dead. There we go. One down. We're still 3. One.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, Morton is really, really tough.
Yeah.
This guy's going to heal. Okay, and this guy is attacking Ren. Damn it. So we lost Ren, but we're still 2 against 3 at this point. And this character is heavily damaged, right? So what we can do next is we take Morton, attack the Raider here, and the lady will probably continue attacking Morton because she's already really annoyed by him. She's also concussed, which is good for us.
Yeah.
And then with Sigvard, we will use sparks on the Raider as well. So we'll do a focus fire kind of thing and hope that Sigvard maybe unlocks a new ability. Let's see what happens. There we go, 57 damage. Oh, there we go. Okay,
Oh.
bam! So Sigvard has just unlocked Fire Blast and finished his target with it. Morton is just tanking, and this guy is probably going to heal her up.
That's nice because Sigvard is still alive.
Yeah. As you can see, with some strategic play here and with some risks taken, we were able to, keep Sigvard alive despite his very, very low HP, and Morton barely took any damage. So it's really important to, take risks and try and switch targets sometimes. So let's finish. Okay, actually, let's do this. Morton will shield bash the shaman and Sigvard. So Sigvard has a new ability called Fire Blast, which costs 2 action points. But if you remember, he also has a passive called Arcane Feedback. Casting offensive spells increase preparation until next turn. So his preparation from casting sparks before is increased by 1, as you can see by the green preparation icon, which means that he actually generates 2 action points each turn, which basically lets him, spam Fire Blast at his enemies, dealing a lot of damage. Let's give it a try. Oh, he actually has 1 HP. Living on the edge, Sigvard. There we go. Okay, as you can see,
Nice.
the Raider lady continues attacking Morton because he's like a tank, pulling her attention to him. While Sigvard was basically free to act. And there we go. Level ups.
Nice.
Fire Blast. Mistborn Large Axe. Heavy Battle Axe with blade made of unknown dark metal. And this has really nice stats, as you can see.
It's actually the best weapon in the demo.
Well, two-handed weapon anyways.
Yes, of course.
And as you can see, the snow is gone. It's no longer snowing, so it was definitely tied to, the invaders somehow. Reginald runs up to you, looking warily around for more invaders as he approaches. I saw what happened. Why didn't you come and get me? I would have helped. Anyway, are you alright? Was that all of them, do you think? Best not to let our guard down just yet. I without doubt our friends made the journey alone. He's right. We should check the shore. Oh shit.
Oh.
So we just fought a crew of one of those ships, and there are like hundreds of them. How long till they land? Hey, Hey Anton,
Hey, I'm back.
welcome back.
Hey,
You missed
Welcome back, man.
we won, and you missed a really nice play. Basically, we had more.
I heard it.
Okay, okay, yeah.
It was a great fight. A fight to remember.
Luckily, we're recording it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're recording this.
Yeah.
Great.
They don't look to me like they're moving, but then again, I'm no sailor. We should warn the villagers. Agreed, they need to get out of here, fast. But this is their home. We can't just ask them to walk away from everything they knew. And what do you suggest by way of an alternative, Hurry, we need to warn everyone. The ship of theirs is spectacular. We need to go back to the village. So, to summarize, we just fought some, northern-looking invaders. Arrived on the Drakkar, and there's a lot more Drakkars over there, about to approach the land, the shore. We also have a chest here, orb amulet, which increases magical power of the user. And what do you think, guys? I think we should stop the demo here, so that we don't spoil the ending to people who are yet to play it, and maybe show some, some new content from the editor to our players.
Yeah, great. That's great.
So yeah,
I'm all in on that.
as I mentioned earlier, I'd like to present some, some previously unknown, not unannounced content that we're currently working on from later in the game, from chapter 2 actually, and also show what it's like, fighting combat in a full party of 5 members against some supernatural enemies. So I'm gonna save the game.
The Vikings aren't supernatural enough.
They're not supernatural enough.
Yeah, guys, remember that you can play the demo on Steam, and you can also join our Discord channel to chat with us. And well,
Yeah, let me actually
there's that.
let me actually paste some links in there.
There is a person asking in the chat
Yep.
about the town.
Hold on. Was watching this game some time ago and noticed the town. Is that a main hub sort of things with upgradable stuff? So we do have a main hub sort of thing with upgradable stuff, but it's not the town that you've probably seen. But we do get mercenary base of some sort at a certain point in the game. Later on in the first chapter actually, but not in the demo. And the town is actually a part of the content that I wanted to show you guys after the demo.
Yes, great music.
Let's enjoy the music for a bit while I'm pasting in some links. So.
Yeah, let's do it. Remember to wishlist the game, guys. That helps us a lot, really. So if you could...
Thank you, Bright. Thank you for listening. We appreciate
Thank you
it.
for wishlisting. Yes, we love you.
Thank you, Brights.
Hello.
And I just pasted a link to the official Discord there. We'd love to have you guys and girls. Feel free to join.
Okay. So what next, Lydia?
Yep, I'm about to load the project in Unreal Engine 4. And yeah, for everyone that doesn't know, we are making this game in Unreal Engine 4. And it's coming to PC, Steam, and Nintendo Switch somewhere later this year.
Hopefully sooner than later, but we'll see.
Yep.
see. I didn't really expect this so many viewers. We almost reached 6,000 6,000 at
Yeah,
some
it's
point. I think.
amazing, and I mean, I feel so humbled, honestly, seeing so many people at once, looking at this game and interacting with us is amazing. I'd really like to, thank everyone for your support. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, it's a great experience, guys. Thank you all.
This is the first time we're showing the game on Steam, and
For so many people like that.
yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. So I'm actually planning on doing a music making live stream here also.
Oh yeah.
That should be. Should we do it on Friday, Ilya?
I think Friday is good. If Friday is good for you, and then I'm game.
Yeah, maybe Friday at the same time, like today.
Yeah, okay.
Great. I will tune in to watch you working on music as well.
You can join me if you want on the stream. That's right.
I'll probably jump in as well, and just I'm also curious
Okay.
to see how you do your magic, because I really love the music in this game.
Yeah, guys, we'll make some new songs for the game. So if you want to know more about the creative process behind the music and all, just make sure you come.
I would stream
On
my
Friday.
work too, but writing isn't very very streamable process.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably not a good idea.
Well, I'm sure I'm gonna be stuck at some points while I'm doing music, but if you guys wanna join, you can help me out. I can ask you
Yeah.
stuff. We can make a song together. It's gonna be fun.
Please come.
How's the editor going, Ilya?
It's taking a bit of time because I'm both streaming and recording, and the game is running as well. So
Yeah, there's a lot of processing.
let's give it a bit to load. I'm actually going to turn off the Discord stream for a sec.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oops. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah, yeah, we can see.
Hold on.
I can see you.
Okay. Shoot. Okay. So the editor is up, and I'm about to show you how we do things in here.
Nice. Finally. Do you think it's gonna work if you share your Discord live stream with us?
Yep. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, sure.
Don't forget about settings. I've had trouble yesterday.
Oh, I actually set them up.
Yeah, great.
Yesterday after the stream, basically. So we should be okay.
And my stream on Steam kinda broke. Okay, it's up again.
It's working for me.
Oh, I think it got reset.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we only have 66 watchers right now. Okay, well, thank you guys for staying with us. There we go. So let's just show some exclusive content then. Can you guys see the
Yes.
desktop? Okay.
You are streaming a Discord window in Discord. But, I mean, it's not Unreal.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Yeah, I hear my voice like tripled.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. Okay, should be fine now.
Yeah,
Okay. You okay, guys, now?
yeah,
Looks
great.
like, yeah.
Cool.
Nice, nice, nice. Yes.
The number of viewers went up again. I guess a lot of people are interested in new content, which is great.
Nice, amazing. I'm so happy to see all you people here. Thank you so much for following us and for watching the stream and for being interested in this game. We've been making it for 3 years now, and it really means a lot to us. And yeah, we're about to show some exclusive content that has never ever been presented before. We've shown some teasers and screenshots and GIFs, but never, you know, an actual gameplay video. So yeah. Just waiting for
So
the
what part are we showing?
I'm gonna show the mountain town the same as we did yesterday, but I'll go just a little bit faster. I won't read the dialogues because I want us. I'll explain what's going on really quickly, but for our followers and viewers, so they understand what's happening. Yeah, but I just want to get to the beef of it, the battles.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Quite fun battles, actually. I remember playing them, testing them.
Yeah, they were quite challenging, I think, right?
Marcus asks if the game will have mod editor.
At the moment, we can't really, you know, guarantee the support, but this is something that we'd love to have at some point at least, because I mean, I love games with mods. Modding games is how I actually started, you know, my career in game development myself, and I really would like to have it supported in the game we're making. But it's also a really big undertaking, so I sadly cannot promise anything at this point. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to lower the volume a little bit. This, and up the music. And the music in this location is really nice, I have to say. I'd like to say,
like it too.
I'd love to say that this is probably one of my favorite locations in the game. And I really like the atmosphere here, how it all feels.
Yeah, I agree. And I actually think the mountain path, mountain forest music is probably my favorite of your music, Claudio.
Yes, same. I really like how it came out.
So, just to give our viewers a bit of a context about what's going on here, this location is where you arrive after finishing the first chapter of the game, and you're basically, at this point, you're actually trying to meet with the leader of your mercenary company, Brist, the man called Brist, who, as Anton explained previously, is also kind of like a father figure to our characters. And no one knows really where Brist is. He sort of went off the radars and just disappeared. And we are now trying to find someone who knows another man who knows where Brist might be. And that brings us to the mountain town over here. Actually, let me just do something else. Just making sure that we have the gameplay running nice and smooth on the stream as well.
Basically, we are going here to meet this guy named Farrell, who might know something about Brist, his whereabouts.
And
But as you will see, or maybe not, I'm not sure how many dialogues we're going to read right now. This Farrell guy isn't really that simple. He's not going to hand over the information to us just like that. He will ask us to do something for him, and yeah, I'm not going to spoil any more than that.
Yeah, and there's a
But
lot
it's an interesting quest, especially for myself.
Pharaoh is actually one of the old, like, compatriots of Brist, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he used to be a mercenary as well, but then he stopped being a mercenary.
They used to hang out.
And yeah, as you can see, like, some really nice rain effects over here, like puddles on the ground.
Some sinister things happen in this town.
Please, food. Sorry, can spare me.
I'm gonna go through these dialogues somewhat quick, but yeah, basically something fishy is going in the town. We just found this woman who's basically caged in here and asking us for food. And what exactly is going on here? And we know about this world that, you know, magic isn't really very welcome in the kingdom. Like, licensed magic users are allowed, but magic use is also heavily policed, and, you know, unlawful use, unsanctioned use is being met like this.
Sometimes. Most of the times it's the Inquisition who persecutes unlicensed magic users, but sometimes you can see people in small towns like this one kind of take the justice in their own hands because they don't want to deal with the Inquisition, because everyone fears the Inquisition.
Right.
It's much easier to try to solve your problems by yourself than to attract attention of the Inquisition.
And as you can see, we actually have 4 characters following Morton around this time. We have Reginald, who wasn't really a party member when we met him in the demo, but he joins us later on. And we have Ren and Sigbert, and a new party member called Ashia, who is a bard girl. She's a young girl. Joins us also somewhere during the plot throughout chapter 1. And as a bard, she has some really interesting abilities, songs that affect your party, songs that debuff enemies, and she has this mechanic called repertory. Let me just show you a bit, so you know what to expect. So, and repertory is a passive ability that provides additional effects to all of the songs the bard can use, as long as you continue, you know, singing different songs in succession. So if you use song A, then all your other you'll get 1 stack of repertory, and all your songs will get an additional effect. Then if you use song B, your stack of repertory will go up to 2, and you might get some additional.
If you ever play Monster Hunter, it's kind of like hunting horn in this game.
Yeah, that's a good example, actually.
Nobody played Monster Hunter here except me, but if you played someone from the stream that might be familiar with the concept.
And we can also see what Reginald has. Reginald is a rogue, and he uses one-handed little daggers to do his stuff. And he has this ability called Piercing Lunge, which actually bypasses half of the target's physical defense and is unblockable, so that's pretty strong. And he also has he has concentration, which is a buff which he can use on himself, and which increases his versatility and critical rate when used. So just to give you an example of what you can expect as you progress through the game and unlock more abilities. And actually, if we take a look at Ren and Morton, so Ren here has a Stalwart Defender passive, so if we were using, you know, one-handed weapon and shield on her from the beginning of the demo, at some point we would unlock this, and this increases HP and healing taken. She also has quite a bit of additional healing abilities. She has Cure, which removes debuffs from your party, and she has a Regenerative Healing passive, which allows all of your healing spells to leave lingering regeneration effect on your targets. which is very helpful in some situations, as we will soon see. And with Martin, we also have Switchback 1 unlocked, which is a pretty strong attack. And passive called Strongman, which just passively increases his strength as long as he's using a two-handed weapon. Oh yeah, and let me just show you the map. As you can see, the map is also quite big. There's quite a bit of points of interest, quite a little bit of things to explore. We won't really do a lot of exploration right now because I want to, follow the main plot and show you the cool stuff. But you can expect there to be quite a lot of side activities for the players to do in the final game.
Let's explore.
So there's this big building over there, which probably means that it might be interesting, so let's head there. And as you can see, the town is quite well developed compared to the village we were in during the demo. There is a tavern over here, there is quite a lot of big buildings, and so on, and a lot more people as well. And also you can notice that there's quite a lot of crows in the air. I wonder what that means.
We'll find out soon enough.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we found the mayor's house. Very flashy. Birgit said this Farrell guy was a smuggler, right? Okay. So this is Farrell. And apparently Farrell is the mayor of this town. And we have business with him. But he doesn't really want to do business with us. However, as we will soon find out, he also has a problem of his own that he needs solved, and we might be able to help him with it. He has a village to protect, as he
Yeah.
says. And he's just invited us into his manor. And he's going to talk about his problem, and if we solve it, he might be able to help us solve ours. Give and take. So, and he's explaining why the woman we saw before had to suffer, because they needed a scapegoat, or otherwise, if the Inquisition came to town and found this, then they would slaughter the whole town. Farrell throws
Or
open
at least that's what we think.
Farrell throws open a small wooden crate. Inside lie the twisted remains of what looks like a humanoid bird. It wouldn't have stood much taller than waist high. What the fuck? Keeper. So it's a bird person? Oh, Anton, so we mentioned Keeper a lot in our dialogues. Can you talk a little bit about what Keeper is?
Yeah. Well, basically, Keeper is an entity, or something like an entity in this world, in the kingdom rather. Basically, like death, a personification of death. People in kingdom believe that when people die, the Keeper comes for their souls. And we don't really have gods in the kingdom. Nobody believes in gods because the Inquisition kind of replaced gods, if you know what I mean. So people don't believe in gods, but they need something to explain things they don't understand, since medieval times and a lot of science hasn't progressed, and people need myth to believe in something. So this entity Keeper appeared because people couldn't understand what happens to other people after they die. So they came up with this legend about an old man who comes for a soul after you die. And nobody really knows if he's real or not, but yeah, it's basically used as a swearing word as well.
Yeah. Kind of like we say
Nice.
hell or damn. We don't really, you know,
Yeah.
mean it. That's what they do as well. Sigurd is quite surprised about this. There's some kind of freak mutation, and anyway, it's dead. Not when it first showed up, it wasn't. It wandered into town a couple of months back. Probably came from that cursed... never mind. Everyone went wild at the sight of it. Started pelting it with stones. Its brains were splattered across the cobblestones before I even got there. I said it was a bad omen, and so it proved to be. It wasn't long after that people started disappearing. They turn up again, eventually, in pieces in the ditch outside the village. Meanwhile, this thing refuses to rot. More proof that it's cursed, if you ask me. Listen, like I said, I have responsibilities, and I'm old besides. Whatever's doing this, I'm no match for it. If you want my help, you'll get to the bottom of what's been going on, and if you get killed in the process, well, that's one less thing for me to worry about. It's the only deal you're going to get. Take it or leave it. So, we're basically tasked to investigate the killings, the missing people, and they seem to be somehow related to this little dead birdman body. And that's where things get more
Discord
and more...
stream actually stopped. Yeah, we can't see anything. It's frozen.
Sorry, what?
The Discord stream is frozen.
Oh, okay.
It's okay in Steam, but not in Discord.
Yeah, okay, let me just...
Yeah.
Okay, stop streaming.
Yeah, we're doing this, guys, because
Okay. So, hold on, guys. Discord just crashed. Seems to do it a lot. But I'm just going to recover it really quickly.
here we are.
Sorry, it crashed again.
It's alright. There we go. Nice.
Yeah, okay, it works now.
Yep. Okay. Back we go.
I'm not sure this Steam stream is working.
It seems to be working for me. Can our viewers
Okay,
confirm
maybe just
that
me.
the stream is working for them? Not freezing or anything?
Same, guys.
It doesn't seem to load for me for some reason.
It is working.
But I guess
it's lagging a
because
bit.
I think it was lagging before because yeah, it was basically when you alt tab into a different window while you have an editor open, editor will automatically drop the frame rate, and when you go back to the editor window, the frame rate will go back to normal. So I think
Okay.
it should be okay right now.
okay. Well, if it works for you, then I guess it's just me.
Okay.
Besides, we have the same number of viewers, so
Yep.
yes, it works.
For the newcomers,
So
we're
what's
do-
this
we're
Sparrow guy?
Yeah, just wanted to say that for the newcomers to the stream, we're doing this online. We're here to read your questions if you have any. So feel free to let us know what you think about the game. Ask anything you have in mind, and we'll try to answer.
Yes, please. Please, please.
So let's
So-
just, I guess, let's just skip this dialogue and
Yep.
go try for battles.
Yep. So yeah, he just basically tasks us to investigate the killings and to investigate a single missing person whose body wasn't found, and that's the local healer called Shayla. And we're just going
Oh,
to...
music's back.
Yeah.
We need to put some music inside of the house also.
Yeah, we need to add some music. We have some locations where the music isn't done yet because, I mean, yeah, especially this part of the content is still, well, a work in progress pretty much. And what you're seeing is not really how it will look in the final game. but we also wanted to, you know, tease a bit what's to come. Shayla's house, perchance. What say we split up and look for clues? Yes. Let's do that. A discovery. Gather round, everybody. Spellbook hidden under the floorboards. The plot thickens. Let's not jump to conclusions. This doesn't prove she had anything to do with it. As you open the book, a single black feather floats out. You were saying? Oh, more than enough proof for the Inquisition, I dare say. Let's go and tell Farrell we found our culprit, shall we? He will be pleased. Like hell I will. Farrell is standing in the doorway, his expression even grimmer than before. So, sir, you sacrificed the right person to keep your precious peace? I'm sure the villagers will be happy to hear that. What they don't know won't hurt them, and if the murder stopped, they'll be too relieved to question matters. So he doesn't really want the truth of this to come out. He wants us to, you know, sweep the truth under the rug and help him, you know, solve the problem without alerting everyone.
Understandable. But not very good.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I think, I mean, he's, you know, I can sort of understand him. His main goal is to protect his town. And in this case, you know,
That's
he's
saying
risking
anyway.
the whole town, you know, being burnt down by the Inquisition or something because of something supernatural that's going on. Yeah, he'd go to any lengths to protect the town. Now, we are to head to the mountain, where apparently Shayla might have been gone. Might have been hiding.
Let's see.
So yeah, the crow is watching us. More crows. Just a crow run. Maybe, maybe not. The crow flies away as you approach.
So this is a big area.
Yeah, just to show you guys the map of this new location. It's somewhat big, and you might be wondering what this is. And we're about to find out, as you can see. This is a huge tree, a really huge magical tree. And more crows. Sigurd causing forest fires.
Not good.
Since it's raining, we're right, no forest fires.
Mm.
And the music here is also really nice.
Yes, thank you.
Also a lot darker than it was before.
Marcus thinks that people in the city should have umbrellas if we have rain like that.
That's actually well, actually our Reach city is a bit southways from the locations that we're showing during the stream, so it doesn't rain as often there. But I guess it would make sense for people to have some sort of, you know, things to cover their heads when it does rain.
I'm not sure if there were umbrellas in medieval times, though.
We should research that.
Yeah, I think we should.
even more crows. And big crows. So now it goes
Man in that crowd.
full on supernatural. We're fighting some magical,
Giving
you
the-
know. Dread Raven. And as you can see, 350 HP. We're facing two of them here. And three little raven spirits who are flying. And they have a flying buff which increases their evasion to 50%. Which means they're not really, you know, too damaging or not too tough, but they're really annoying because they're also very fast. As you can see, they have 11 speed. And with that much of evasion, they kind of are really tricky enemies really to fight. Oh, and another important thing about them is, as you can see, they have an evolving buff. So if they land a killing blow on one of our characters, they will become a fully fledged big Red Raven crowd. Meanwhile, Red Ravens, when they are attacking a target without engagement, so for example from a side attack, they generate 1 additional action point. And they also increase their preparation stab to when below 50% HP. Additionally, they have patience. When not engaged with any target, speed is reduced, but deals increased damage when attacking targets. So this is the part of the game where things get quite a bit tactical. So we're basically facing 5 versus 5 with 2 pretty powerful, pretty tough opponents who are slow, 3 small ones which could die from a single hit, but would also distract our characters from carrying out whatever orders they were trying to carry out.
So should we go for the big ones first, or the small ones?
Thinking
Actually, don't matter.
I would prefer to take out these smaller ones first.
Yeah, because they are dangerous, and if they land a killing blow, it's going to be even tougher when they turn into Red Ravens.
Is anyone having any problems with the stream, guys? Just checking.
Well, I can't seem to load it for some reason. I mean, I'm reloading it constantly, but it doesn't work
See,
for me.
it also appears stuck for me too. Let me see if I can fix it.
Yeah. It works now.
Okay,
Does it?
let's carry on
Let
then.
me see.
It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me either at this moment.
Yeah, for me either at this point.
That's strange.
It's working on YouTube, but
It's
not
working on YouTube, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
not on Steam for some reason.
We have problems again. Yes.
Too many viewers, we have too many viewers, guys. The servers can
Especially
deal with
at-
it.
No,
5 times as much.
Cloudy, you're approaching it in the wrong direction. We have too few viewers. More viewers will guarantee that we have the stream working properly.
Exactly.
Maybe,
Guys.
maybe.
Please
Tell
give
your
us
friends
more
to
viewers.
I wonder what the problem might be.
This combat theme actually ended up being pretty nice also, I think.
Well, we're trying to fix the
Alright.
technical issues, Cloudy. Can you talk a bit about the music, actually?
Okay, so this is Cloudy Martinez. I'm the composer and sound designer of the game. And we started making music like 3 years ago, Ilya? Maybe?
Yeah,
Something
two,
like
ye-
3
two
years
years.
ago.
I think in 2018 when we started expanding the team.
Yeah, maybe 2 years or I think it's more than 2 years, maybe 2 years and a half.
Oh,
Okay,
the
stream
stream.
seems to work now.
Yeah, the stream is back. All right.
Whoa.
Okay, sorry,
Great.
sorry people who are viewing this. We had some technical problems, but they seem to be resolved now. So let's go back to the battle. And yeah, Cloudy, can you talk about the battle music? How you approached composing it? How we have the dynamic sections and so on.
Yeah, so basically, as Ilya said before, we have an order phase and an action phase. And for the order phase, we have a part of the song where the dynamics are not too high. It's simply giving you space to think, and when you hit action and the action phase kicks in, the music goes all in, and well, yeah, it's basically where all the action is happening. You get more epic music. Actually, when you win and when you lose, also music changes. And we even might be developing music that changes, like boss phases and stuff like this.
Yep.
And all of this is built in Fmod, which is a software you can use to make interactive music for video games and other projects. If you guys are interested, you should check it out.
Right.
That's kind of it.
Yes, let's give it a try. I would actually try and destroy, the small ones with our faster characters, while the slower ones sort of try and engage the big ravens. So, for example, let's have Morton do a kick on this Dread Raven.
Okay.
Hold on, actually. Okay, actually, Morton is pretty quick, so we can have him kick one of the Raven Spirits.
Maybe because of the buff, I guess.
As I mentioned earlier, depending on the ability, the speed is different. So when you're previewing your abilities, you'll see, your portraits move around the timeline and so on, and you can, use it to help you decide which abilities are best to use at this point in time. I mean, speed is really important in this game. Let's try marks on this guy. This guy.
Maybe with Achia we could make something else, like a spell or something. I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, we
But
could
maybe
try
we
it. So,
yeah.
so we have two abilities, bard abilities here. We have Hymn of Inspiration, which is a decurse ability, which can be used to remove negative effects from our characters. And as we'll soon see, the big ravens will actually afflict our characters with debuffs. So, let's actually give it a try. Let's just tell her. Oh no. So the problem with this is that she will be acting before the big ravens. So if we give her decurse command, she will just have to do something else instead, because the ravens haven't acted yet and haven't affected any of our party with the debuffs yet. So let's use this Soothing Ballad instead. As you can see, it's a generator. It increases the defenses of the whole party. And at one stack of repertory, as you can see, the repertory mechanic in action. At one stack, it will also reduce the threat of the caster. And threat mechanic in our game, as in many other games, is a hidden, number, which basically determines which character is the most preferable target for the enemies. So this makes her, less likely to be attacked. Then at 2 stacks of repertory, it will also additionally restore some HP to the affected targets. And since this affects all the party, it's pretty much a mass heal spell at 2 stacks of repertory.
Nice.
Sounds very useful.
And as we can see, right now we have no stacks of repertory because we haven't sung any songs yet. But once we start, rolling, we'll see the effect. Okay. And then we have Reginald. Reginald, let's also try to attack one of the Raven Spirits. See what happens. And when I press engage in combat, you'll be able to hear how the music changes. It will become much more, dynamic. So far, so good.
It's fight time.
Yeah.
Killed one of the small ravens. Oh, we killed all of the small ravens. And there comes Soothing Ballad.
It's lucky.
There we go. So everyone now has defenses increased. And as you can see, when the big raven attacks, it afflicts the target with a corrupted wound debuff. And the corrupted wound, taking periodic damage, additional damage when refreshed to 3 stacks. So this is a stackable debuff. Once it reaches 3 stacks, it will deal additional damage. Which means we probably want to remove it from the characters affected by it with one of the characters that can use the curse spells. We know that Ashia has one, and Ren has one. So let's see what our options are here. Since we don't have the small ravens to worry about anymore, and the big ravens are somewhat slow, we should have a lot more freedom in this fight right now. So let's see what we can do. With Morton, we can actually use kick on these to slow them even further by applying hobbled to them. So what do you guys think? We should do that?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Why not?
If we're faster than them, is it kind of useless? Shouldn't we be generating another action point? Maybe? I don't know.
Okay, I mean, so the thing is, they have
You're right.
the patience buff on them. When not engaged with any target, speed is reduced, but deals increased damage when attacking targets. So once they are engaged with someone, their speed is actually increased to a normal value. But I mean, you're right.
Oh, okay.
Let's just, you know what? Let's just focus on this Dread Raven here, because he's already taken some damage, and just see if we can bring him down in 1 turn or something. So Sigurd here has a new spell called Glacial Spike, which is a damage spell. Applying a shield effect to a target, which also decreases the speed. Since we don't really care about the enemy speed at this point, we can just focus on the damage and use Fire Blast instead.
Yeah.
And then Ren. So with Ren, we'll also Shield Bash this guy. Ashia will...
Yeah, let's try to kill that one.
Ashia will use Hymn of Inspiration to remove the debuff on Reginald.
I think on Sigurd is better because he has lower health.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
but
And if he's taking damage,
so the way I'm thinking, Sigurd is using the ranged attack, and we are making sure that these ravens don't attack anyone we don't want them to attack. So I think Sigurd should be safe. And with Reginald,
Okay.
I'm planning to, you know, use Reginald to switch the targets, so he will leave this raven here for everyone else to deal with, and engage this one. So he will take a hit from it, and therefore I kind of wanted to cure him first. Let's give it. And actually, let me show this. As you can see, the spell here shows engagement break. This is what, you know, what the ability tooltip will say when you're trying to switch to a different target when you're already engaged to someone. Reginald is engaged to Dread Raven here, to this one, and we're trying to switch, so therefore, yeah, the engagement break is happening. Okay, let's give it a try. Bam.
nice.
Okay.
I think it's going to die soon.
So as you can see, Reginald now has 2 corrupted wound stacks, but there we go. Ashia just cured him, and Ashia, using her Hymn of Inspiration ability, now has 2 stacks of Repertory. Also, the other Dread Raven just died, so we can just focus all of our efforts on the one remaining.
Yeah, we're all alive, so yeah, wait this one.
There are tougher battles to come.
Let's
After
try
this
glacial.
one.
Let's try glacial spike on this target. I just want to show our viewers the effect of the spell. And now, since Asha is on 2 stacks of repertory right now, we can use her Soothing Ballad, which will, you know,
Heal everyone.
maintain the defense defense buff. And as you can see, yeah, it increases the defense by quite a bit. And it will also, from the 2 stacks, reduce the threat and restore some HP. So let's try it, see what happens. Actually, let's try something here. I don't want the Dread Raven to die too soon, so I will disengage Reginald. Because I really want to show the mass heal effect. And as you see, Reginald disengaging, he sort of ran away a bit from the target.
Nice.
That's a big hit.
I think it might die. Okay, it died too soon. But we were able to see the Glacial Spike, and we'll see some new enemies soon enough, which will, I think, allow us to utilize Ash's abilities to their full potential. Okay, so this back down. That's good. We're now getting closer to the tree.
Are we gonna show the tree and what's inside and everything?
Yeah. I really want to show the tree and what's inside.
Okay.
It's the, you know, the good thing, the good stuff. So we have another. So this is a fight that's quite a bit different to all the fights that we've showed before, because it will have reinforcements arriving. So right now, as you can see, we only have 2 small ravens and 1 big dread raven here, which doesn't look that intimidating, so let's see what happens. And we'll start with the same approach. Let's take care of the small ones first. Ashia will buff. Reginald. Actually, let's have Reginald also attack one of the Raven Spirits, just in case one of them avoids an attack, so we can be sure
Yeah, also do the same time.
Because when the character is doing a side attack, one of the important, you know, benefits of side attacks in this game, side attack cannot be evaded or blocked. So this 50% of evasion that the Raven Spirits have is kind of inefficient against side attacks. Okay, 1 down. Okay, so this one evaded.
Oh.
Soothing Ballad. Defense buffs on everyone. And as you can see, Reginald, he reassigned his attack to the big one. Okay.
Oh.
So this are range.
Yeah, so this is the reinforcement mechanics. These are the enemies that just joined the fight to make things worse for us. So now we have, again, 2 Dread Ravens and 3 small ones. Just kind of similar to what we faced before. Except, well, the battle is already ongoing. We've already taken some damage. One of the Dread Ravens also took some damage. Let's see, how should we approach this? I still think we should prioritize the small ones. But we also have this big one at really low health, so we might want to just, you know, nuke it down. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I'd go for the big one.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we can somewhat balance it and like kill 1 or 2 of the small ones.
Okay, so actually, here's an important thing. Spark's spell. Although it's a lot weaker than both Glacial Spike and Fire Blast in terms of damage the spell deals, it's also unavoidable. Which means that if we use it on one of the Raven Spirits again, their evasion won't really do anything and they will still take the full damage. So let's give it a try.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
just to be safe, let's make Sigvard use sparks in melee, because if we use sparks in ranged, there's a lot of the small ravens who can act before him, and if one of them engages Sigvard while he's preparing a ranged attack, he will take an attack of opportunity damage, and we don't want that.
Oh, smart. Okay.
And then with Ren, let's also use Shield Bash on this Red Raven.
Yeah.
Ashia. With Ashia. So one of the big ones is going to act before Ashia, which means that we'll have at least one debuff present. Which means we might as well order her to use Hymn of Inspiration on herself, and then she will automatically kind of assign her target depending on who has the curse on the battlefield. Because the way it works with healing and curses, if you use them on a character which is not eligible for those abilities, for example, trying to heal a character with 100% health, the healer will just, reassign their action and try to heal whoever else is, the lowest health, HP in the party to, just make the maximum use out of their ability, out of their action. And the same with the curses. If the target doesn't have any, debuffs on them, then the caster will just reassign to another target that does have some debuffs. So let's see what happens. Actually, so this is 200 health. Reginald right now, since he's engaged, he's no longer using his patience effects, and that makes him really fast because his base speed is really high at 14. So we can just use him to attack one of the Raven Spirits instead. With
Yeah, I should do that.
let's not waste his AP on piercing lunge because it deals a lot of damage, but these have really small HP. Let's just use a normal attack.
Good.
Okay, there we go. Good.
One down.
So one of the ravens intercepted Morden, and one of the small ravens is also engaging Reginald. So since Reginald has already killed his target, he no longer has any engagement. His engagement slots are open. That means if he gets attacked by another target in the same turn, the target will just engage him instead of getting a side attack against him. Okay, Sigurd just finished off the small raven that was engaging Reginald. Ren is tanking the big raven, taking corrupted moves. Okay. And there we go. As you can see, Ashia engaged the raven inside attack, but instead of attacking, she uses the action that she was ordered to do by casting Hymn of Inspiration and curing Ren of her debuffs. And she also now has 2 stacks of repertory, which is also important.
Yeah, as you predicted, basically.
Yep. And this is kind of what the battle system of our game is about, planning ahead and trying to predict what actions will occur, how the enemies will move, how your characters will move, and building your strategy around that.
Does this big raven only have like 1 health point? He only has 1 health point.
Yeah,
right?
he only has 1 health point,
Yeah.
which is
Shit.
sad. So this Dread Raven here,
Maybe it's time to start kicking his ass, right?
yeah, let's switch Morden to him,
Okay.
like full time. Let's make Sigvard. Yeah, let's have Sigvard take care of the small raven. Ren will finish off Dread Raven with 1 HP. Ashia will finally use
And
her
Ashia
Soothing
should-
Ballad to heal everyone. And Reginald.
Personal damage.
Yeah, let's have him do a personal. I'm a bit afraid because he's pretty low on health actually. So it might be better to have him attack with Raven Spirit instead. Or just keep him out of
But
combat
Ash is
entirely.
going to... I think Ash is going to heal him.
Ah, that's
I mean, if he is attacked by the small Raven, the pack is low damage ability. So.
yeah, I'm a bit worried. So this Dread Raven is not engaged right now, right? And Reginald is moving first. So if we send him to attack this Dread Raven, he will engage it and then take damage from him, which means a guaranteed stack of Corrupted Wound, which brings his total number of stacks to 3 and makes him take a lot more damage than we want to. Let's have him cast a buff on himself instead.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so one of the big ravens is down. And Morden is now engaged with the other big raven. And then we have small raven side attacking Morden, but we don't really know about that.
Nice.
And there we go, the mass heal. So everyone was just healed by 30 HP point. Okay, so this is an interesting ability these big ones have. When they reach desperation, they get a buff to their preparation. And once they reach a certain amount of action points, they use a Raven Call ability that calls another small Raven to the battlefield. So this one just used that ability, and we also got reinforcements of 2 more big ones. So things are looking a bit hairy. But at the same time, we're also at full health, which means that we should probably be fine.
And again, I seem to have problems with Steam Stream.
Yeah. Steam streams seems to be down again, but I think this is on Steam's side because I mean YouTube is working.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, it's back up now.
Yeah, I mean, they must be having a lot of problems on their servers. There's a lot of people watching these things.
Yeah. So let's try.
We need to kill this big one for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty low on health. But we also need to take care of the small one.
Sigvar has a lot of action points at the moment, so he can start to fire blast everything.
Yeah, let's just use some Fire Blast on Red Raven here.
True.
And let's have Ren take care of the small one. And let's have Ash here cure Reginald of debuffs. And then let's have Reginald use Piercing Lunge on this target.
Okay.
See what happens. Evade, oh you.
Desperation.
And as you can see, we used Hymn of Inspiration at 4 stacks of Repertory, so Reginald has received an additional effect from it, and his main stats are down.
Nice.
Yeah, he just landed a very big hit.
Oh, he's
Someone-
dying.
Someone on YouTube is asking, is there any way to increase shield blocks to 75%? As you progress, as you increase your sword and shield ability group experience, you'll be able to unlock some abilities that increase your shield block rate, and yeah, that will really increase your tanking capabilities. But at this point, Ren doesn't have this ability, so we have to do with what we got. We only have 2 big birds left, right?
Yeah.
So Reginald is really low on health, and I really want to make sure that he doesn't die. So let's do this. Let's peel this raven off him. Actually, no. Let's do it like this. Since Morton is engaging with this one, I want to keep him engaged too.
Makes sense.
Wait, hold on. Okay, Morton isn't actually engaging it. Okay, so this Raven isn't engaged to anyone, so that doesn't matter. Okay, in that case, let's do this. Then let's do... I'm gonna use a glacial spike on this one to slow it down a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to shield bash Ren so it gets engaged. Sorry, just grabbing a little bit of water.
That's a
I'm
good
actually
idea.
quite thirsty. I didn't want to leave the stream though.
It's fine, you can take a few minutes of break, man.
Yeah, I know. I will.
This is an intense fight though, you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's have Ashia do the soothing ballad to heal everyone up. With Reginald will do...
Well, Asha is quite powerful character. I don't remember using her to full extent when I played those battles. I don't know. I don't remember actually using her to heal everyone. I didn't know about the repair.
Yeah, the repertory makes her a really, strong healer. And I mean, there's a lot of utility to the Bard class in
Yeah.
general, because the amount of buffs it provides is just, immense. Let's see what happens. Okay. This fella is now slowed, and Asha is now healing everyone up. There we go. Okay, so this one
Oh my
called
god.
another small one. And we've got the final guy. So this one is like the boss of this fight. Red Raven Patriarch. He has 500 HP. He's also white. And kind of really cool looking. However, we are still not done with the small ones yet. Luckily, they are around 50% HP each. So it should be possible to take them down. Let's take a look. What have we here? Okay, let's have Morton kick this guy. So we're going to redirect Morton to this target. Do a kick. And then we'll have... Let's fire blast this guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And let's shield bash him also.
Should we actually shield bash this one instead?
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
no.
That's,
I really want to keep it engaged, so... Yeah, no, let's change this a bit. So Morton won't be fast enough to kick the big one, but Ren would be fast enough to just engage it. So let's do that, and let's just have
okay.
more than attack this guy instead. So we'll just focus on, killing it. Let's have Sigvard spark the Raven Spirit. And we'll go and kill the Red Raven Patriarch. We'll attack the Red Raven Patriarch. Ren will... Okay. What do you think? Do we heal or do we cure some of these? Because, I mean, each of them are on 2, which means that whenever they take the next attack, they will go to 3 and take extra damage. And we don't really want
Well,
that.
Reginald's probably going to die.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that. Yeah, let's heal. Let's heal. Let's just heal. Then let's have do his piercing launch. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this guy is now buffing all of his friends.
Come here.
Yeah.
Ouch. So there we go. He's at 3 stacks now, but he's still alive, so...
Yeah, let's hope he stays alive.
That's okay.
Well,
That's
yeah,
not
that's
too
alright.
bad, and he's going to be dead now, so... There is that. Engagement. Okay, 154 damage, but it's still alive. I think it's also at like 1 HP.
Oh my god, we're so unlucky, man.
Ooh,
Oh, we can
that
still
was...
kill.
How much health is... 2 health! Wow, we are lucky, guys.
Yeah.
We got really lucky here. So, I really want to take care of our health this time. And I really want to take care of the big guy, because if he's running around doing whatever he then pleases, it's gonna create problems down the line.
Are they still able to summon more birds?
Yeah, they can do that.
Oh.
But we are not going to let them. So this one has 71. If we don't heal Reginald, he'll die.
We're almost finished with this fight, I think. Because, well, the Patriarch is probably a tough enemy, but you could think that we'll deal with Red Ravens pretty quickly, I think.
That's true.
And when he's alone, it's not going to be much of a threat. Unless he can summon. I don't remember if he can.
I think he can. And he also casts this Enrage buff, which increases strength and speed of all the allies he has, which is really not nice. Oh. And Discord is down again, sorry.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay, we can see you. Yeah.
There we go.
Alright, yeah, I still want to kick this guy in the butt.
Okay.
Let's heal Reginald. Okay, so at least Ren is still acting before the Dread Raven Patriarch, which means we can shield bash it, debuff it a bit. Let's... So we'll have Ashia attack that Red Raven this time. at really low HP, so he should die regardless. And then we'll have Reginald do his piercing lunge on this one. And that should take care of it. Okay, so he's just enraged a bunch. Let's see what happens. I think this is going to work. This one's down. This one's concussed. Ren is blocking, which is nice. Getting a side attack with a kick in. Nice. Okay.
Nice.
And Sigurd does some healing, so Reginald won't die next turn from the damage on time effect.
Every
Okay.
time you say Sigurd, I hear cigarette.
I think we have this under control now. We only have one target, and it's he's under concussed and hobbled, so he's pretty slow now. So we can just go all out on him.
Yeah, all DPS. Fire Blast, Shield Bash. And attack it. Nice.
It's almost finished.
Yep. And it's down. Good.
Great, and you haven't lost anyone. I never won this fight without losing anyone.
Yeah, it's almost like you know how to play this game again.
Yeah, I guess I'm
Oh,
a
I
bit,
wonder why is that.
This was actually a really cool fight compared to the ones we have in the demo, so you guys know what to expect now.
yeah. And we're approaching the tree. So let's see what's waiting for us there.
I like this location. Looks beautiful.
Yeah. And there's a really cool effect as you approach
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
tree.
gonna say.
The screen, you know, it kind of gets desaturated. The closer you get to the tree, like if we run back down, you'll see the color comes back into the world. So there's really something strange and magical going on here. Like you see the colors are becoming more normal. And now-
Yeah, it's very subtle and progressive, so you don't really notice.
Yeah.
I think it's a great design choice. I loved it when you showed it.
Thank you.
It's kind of like Moonblood lightning, you know?
Yeah. We have a question. How many? Two questions actually. How many different class types has the game? So this isn't final at the moment, but we're aiming to have I think 20 or 30 different classes. And classes in our game, they don't really, you know, define the kind of abilities you use, but they provide some additional passive bonuses, and they also affect the AI of the character. So, for example, a healer character will always, you know, when reassessing the ability, will always prioritize healing your party members. An assassin character, for example, when reassessing an ability, will try to attempt to side attack or rear attack an already engaged enemy, and so on. So, and the more advanced your classes get, the more tactical choice they give you. And I hope that makes sense. And then the other question, how do you revive a character when he dies? So, we don't have any revive spells actually in battle. So when the character gets knocked out in battle, that's it. You can't really bring them back up. But on the other hand, when the battle is over, and if you win, all the characters that were knocked out at 0 HP will automatically restore their health back to full. So this is kind of a balancing act, and we really wanted to avoid the kind of gameplay that you see in some games where you will just, you know, use one character to deal just a little bit of damage, and continuously, rotate the characters around, where one character dies and then the other characters, instantly revives the character that just died, creating kind of prolonged and not really that engaging battles. For us, most battles in our game are resolved in less than 10 turns. Actually, there's even a penalty to your experience. The more you prolong the battle, the less experience gain you will have, to sort of avoid this situation where you're just, attacking with one character that doesn't have anything equipped or has a really weak weapon equipped. And get experience with that, and then just, continuously heal him with all the rest of the characters, so he would, be able to level up endlessly in a different game, but in ours you'll just have your experience severely diminished the longer you progress like that. So yeah, and most battles are really quick in this game. They will take you, between 5 to 10 turns, depending on how you approach them. The fight that we
But not the last one.
the last one actually didn't last more than 10 turns. I think we ended it in 7 or 8 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it feels pretty long.
Yeah,
I mean, it,
Yeah, but I guess.
but probably not as long as some JRPG bosses.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, the previous fight is a good example of a longer fight in our game, where you really have, it's kind of an attrition fight too, because you have all those reinforcements coming, and you don't really, when you're fighting it for the first time, you don't know what to expect. So you have to take things carefully, and you have to make sure that you have enough characters alive by the end of it, or you just get overwhelmed when the big bird appears and it starts buffing the smaller birds. Everyone suddenly starts getting a lot stronger and quicker, and if you just don't have enough characters to deal with that, you'll just get, wiped. So we finally approached the tree, and as you can see, the colors are pretty much entirely washed out right now. And there's a swing over there. Wonder who it belonged to. Like, what would a swing be doing on a tree like this? And you can see it's a really big, really ominous looking tree. So let's enter and see what happens. Oh, what is this? A looming silhouette.
What's that, guys?
Half man, half bird, towers over the kneeling form of a woman. Please, I beg you. The sound of the party unsheathing their weapons draws the woman's attention. Hmm? Wait, don't hurt him. I can't explain. The birdman lets out a loud screech, seemingly readying itself to strike. What do we do? Do we attack? Do we do nothing?
I think we should attack. It looks scary.
Let's try attacking. And there we go. It's called Fall Round. And it's...
So it's basically a boss fight.
Yeah, so this is a real boss fight you get in the game. It has multiple phases, as you will see soon. And it's pretty cool. Should we talk a
And
bit?
he has a lot of health.
Should we talk a bit about the story here, Anton? I don't know, just until Cloudy comes back.
I'm not sure because, well, it's... we can't really delve much into the story behind this
Yeah, that's true.
creature. It would spoil a lot of things.
Yeah, but I think the important thing
I mean,
I think the important thing to note here is that, I mean, we've been fighting mostly, animals and bandits in the demo, and things that weren't really getting too magical. But
Yeah, I'll understand why there are many animals, but not a lot of magical creatures once you get further into the story beyond the demo. But basically, the situation in the kingdom is that you don't actually, even though it's a fantasy setting, you don't actually meet a lot of magical stuff here because the Inquisition controls magic and tries to limit magic's expression in the world. So it's actually pretty rare to stumble upon a creature like this.
Cloudy's back. So yeah,
I'm back, guys.
we have this boss fight. Cool wings, by the way. Let's do this. I usually started with a kick because, and yeah, in our game, just I wanted to explain it. Sorry. Sorry. I wanted to explain it, but like in a lot of RPGs, player buffs and debuffs don't really affect boss creatures. A lot of boss creatures just have this kind of hard immunity against stun effects, control effects, speed decrease effects, and stuff like that. So, and you've been building this character around those, and suddenly you meet this boss, and a lot of your abilities just stop doing anything. You just have to play around it. Not so much in our game. Well, our bosses have abilities and means to clear some of the debuffs that they're affected with at certain points during the fights, and you'll see that with Fall Round as well. They're still affected by, for example, the decreased speed debuff provided by kick, and that makes it really very vital to make sure that you're utilizing your debuffing abilities against bosses as well. So
yeah, important to utilize those abilities, because otherwise you really have little chance of winning if you don't go full out on this.
As we see, so yeah, Fall Round, he starts alone. He doesn't have anyone at this point. But he also has this buff, Raven Call. Calls a Raven ally to join the fight at the end of each turn. So he will automatically summon reinforcements as the fight progresses, so you won't just be fighting a single target. And this is what I was talking about earlier, when I was talking about engagement. Engagement, maximum number of engaged parties characters increased by 1. What this means is that it will take you more than one character to fully engage him, and you'll only be able to score side attacks on him after you have 2 characters engaging him, which kind of makes him a little bit more tanky and a little bit more dangerous, I suppose. So,
yeah.
And with that in mind, let's just have Sigurd also attack him in melee using sparks. Let's also have Ren attack him in melee. Let's use Ashia's Soothing Ballad, because some extra defense is always good, and we want to have the repertory stacks going. And with Reginald, let's also just rush in and see what happens from now. Yeah, I just wanted to show the model because he's kind of a really cool design. Really, he has these, skeletal arms and feathers. He's kind of half human, pretty huge.
It has a lot of health.
Yeah, it does have a lot of health. It's a boss enemy. We don't want them to die too soon. There we go.
Yeah.
And he also applies corrupted wound stacks on his attacks. Kind of. So the previous enemies that we fought, they were sort of, preparing you for this fight. They were explaining a lot of the mechanics that you will experience in full when fighting him. So, and we've met these before. We know that they are fast and they're very evasive, and that they evolve into a Dread Raven. And we really don't want to have to fight a big crowd in addition to the boss, here. So these are really a priority here. Otherwise, and he will continue summoning them as the battle progresses. So we'll risk overrunning, getting overrun if we don't take care of them. And with that in mind, I would say let's keep Morten on Falran attacking for now. Let's have Sigvard.
I'll go have some water.
Yeah.
Be back in a couple.
Okay. Let's have. What do you think, Claudia? Should we have Sigurd cast Sparks on Raven Spirit, or should we keep him, on the Falran?
Well, with Sparks, we make sure we kill it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd just kill him. Really.
Okay.
I used to just use sparks, yeah.
Okay. So with Ren, let's also attack a Raven Spirit and hope that she doesn't get evaded.
Yeah.
With Ashia, I want to cure Ren's corrupted wound.
Okay.
And that will also give us 2 repertory stacks, meaning starting next turn we'll be able to use the mass healing as well, which is very important. Because we'll be taking a lot of, group damage in this fight, a lot of these small targets. This guy also has some, tricks up his sleeve, as we'll see soon enough. Actually, to be safe, let's have Reginald also attack Raven Spirit. Just in case Ren's attack gets evaded. Just with a simple normal attack. That should be enough. Just checking the chat really quickly. Okay. Oops. Okay.
Oh.
So that was a good call, I think, right?
Yeah, totally.
And the other Crow is also attacking Ren, which is very lucky for us because Ren doesn't take a lot of damage. She's really tough. Okay, one's down. And get Morden to deal some damage to the Crow. Asher is clearing the debuff on Ren. And we get a side attack from Reginald. So we're back to where we started, basically. And there we go. Get it. So the swipe attack. So the swipe attack here is kind of interesting because it doesn't just affect a single target, but rather every target that's engaged with Falra. But in the previous, during the action, we made Ren disengage from Falra, and we made her attack the small Raven, right? So only Morton was engaged, which means that we sort of, lowered the party damage incoming. So that was a good call as well.
Yeah.
However, as we can see, Morton is a bit low on health right now. So what we'll do next is we'll switch him to one of the Raven Spirits instead.
Okay.
Maybe
Sigvar can fire blast for Falraven.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Let's have him fire blasting Falraven for some extra damage because, I mean, ultimately we want to take him down and not just fight the never-ending ads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's also have Ren shield bash him for some extra bit of damage. We are actually pretty good on health here, so I think a good call here would be to...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, clean Morton,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, let's cleanse more. And let's have Reginald... let's have Reginald also attack one of the Raven Spirits. Yep.
Okay.
So this is dangerous, this is risky because Raven Spirits here are acting faster than our characters. Which means that all our carefully planned actions can actually be interrupted by them. But let's see what happens. So right, one of these has intercepted Reginald. That's not too bad, because we wanted Reginald to attack one of them anyway.
That's perfect, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And Ren has intercepted Falran. Falran would otherwise attack Morton, but Morton has now disengaged. And he killed one of the small ones. Great. We just had Ashia clear some of the debuffs.
Yes, he's burning.
Nice. And there we go. Controlled rage. So as you can see, he's really angry now. His eyes are burning red. His wings just went red as well. And we're in phase 2 now.
And that was a great hit.
Yep. And as you can see, he now has a new buff. He has a buff called Hunger. Consumes a living Raven ally at the end of each turn, taking his health and action points for oneself. And he's also enraged, strength and speed increase, so he'll now move a lot faster. And he's also just cleared all his debuffs because of the phase switch. So he's really fast.
Burning didn't help. Burning didn't help a lot.
Yep. But the good thing here is, due to his Hunger ability, he will sort of destroy the small Raven anyway, even if we leave it be. let's see what our choices here are. I mean, at this point, this is a burn phase, basically. We really want to kill him before he kills us. So it might be a good idea to just, you know, focus on. On the other hand, I really want to take care of the small raven here. Let's see if
There's only one, so yeah. Who could do it? Who could kill the small one? Ideally.
Actually, I kind of want Morton's damage on...
A switchback maybe, right?
Yeah, I want switchback on power round because that deals a lot of damage. I also want... Nah, actually, you know what? I want to kick because I wanted to drop his speed a bit because right now he's at 16 speed, which means he's like faster than anyone in the party.
Okay.
Yeah,
It means that like
makes
on this turn, it's guaranteed that he will, you know, hit these characters. So, with that in mind, let's take care of the Raven Spirit using Sparks. Let's have Ren. Ren is engaged to fall around anyway, so even if we escape, he will probably follow her. Let's do a Shield Bash. And let's do a Soothing Ballad.
Yeah, that's heal, right?
We're only at 1 stack of Repertory, so we won't get
It's not going to kill anyone.
but we'll at least get the defense.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. He only
Yeah.
has 600 or so health left, so not that much. Hunger. Okay, as you can see. And whoa! There you go. That's what
Okay,
happens with the-
goodbye.
Okay. Okay, so we asked Sigurd to do sparks on the Raven, but the Raven was down, so he just used the sparks on the big guy. But I think we can do this. I think we can win this.
Yeah, we just need to go all in now.
He's not debuffed, and we can just continue, you know, hitting him. Let's just hit him with all we have. Let's have Ashia attack him. Maybe he'll win.
Nice.
Come on, come on.
I think we can do it. Yeah, I think we got it. Yes!
Nice.
Nice.
Down.
And here you have it. You can see class change warrior. So Morton's stats have increased, and depending on the total amount of his main stats, whenever he increases the stats at the end of the battle, there's a chance for a class change to occur. And the class is also defined by the ability groups that you have. For example, if you have a high level in your two-handed weapon ability group and a high amount of strength, you will probably get, you know, a class change to a warrior and then maybe to a berserker or something. So you can sort of predict how your class progression will look like later in the game. And that is it. The birdman staggers to its feet, badly wounded but still alive. Takes one last look at the woman as she approaches. She still had some strength left, and then rushes outside. Don't follow him, let him leave, please. Are you Shayla? I am. I suppose the villagers sent you? Let me guess, witch hunt, monster hunt, or both? Savages. Look, we just want to know what's going on. What is there to say? The people of Iron Peak murdered his child. He wanted revenge. There's little more to it than that. I met his son here on the mountain. It all began so innocently. I returned the child to him and he thanked me, trusted me. Why did the poor little thing have to go down there? Those beasts can't accept anything that doesn't fit into their tiny little world. They'd rather kill something than try to understand it. So the creature the villagers killed, that was its child? Yes. This creature was what was killing the villagers then. They killed his child, and for what? Curiosity. Since when was that a crime? And how did you get involved in this? The child was lost. I found him while gathering herbs here on the mountain. By leading him back here, I earned both of their trust. These creatures are unlike anything I've ever seen. I wanted to understand them. And I felt like I was getting somewhere, but then the child came looking for me in the village, and there was no need for any of this. But after what they did, he wasn't going to rest until everyone who threw a stone had paid. I started this, so I came here to try and end it. I knew he wouldn't listen to anyone else. I tried to reason with him, begged, but, well, you know the rest. What are you going to do now? I'm not going back to the village. I don't want to end my days in a cage. But where do I go instead? We might know a place, right, Asya? Oh, you
Yes,
indeed?
join us.
I'm sure Mom wouldn't mind. And for the record, yeah, Asya's mom, her name is Birgit, is an owner of the inn that we sort of make our hideout in.
Yeah. The hub
Yep.
mentioned before, like an hour or so ago.
Shall we invite her along? We can always use a healer. I suppose we do get into a lot of fights. Oh yeah, we can attest to that. And what do we tell Farrell, pray? We tell him the truth. Is that such a wise idea, I wonder? Okay,
Okay.
That's
that's it.
Yes.
Yes. That's everything we wanted to show, right?
Yes, I think so.
I don't think we have any.
I also wanted to preview maybe some voices. So yeah, right now, as the viewers might have noticed, we don't really have any voices for the characters in the dialogue, but we are actually working on them right now. We're recording some voices, some lines we want to be voiced in our game. So most of the important characters, all of the party members, and most of the important NPCs that we've met before, like Farrell, like Bodil, and so on, would be voiced. Will have voiced lines. They will not be fully voiced, but at least you'll be able to hear their voices to kind of help you shape up the character that they have. But I think we can preview that during the music stream on Friday, like, right, Claudia?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I can show how we make everything sound related.
Yep.
And I actually need to be going now,
Yeah,
if you
I-
don't
I-
mind me.
I think this was
I
a
think
really
we're
great
going-
stream. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people watched us. We're really grateful, guys, for watching this.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Those
Thank you
who
for
stuck
tuning in.
out.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for asking questions. And it was really nice. This is a really nice opportunity. Just a reminder that we also have Q&A coming up on Saturday. I think it was, let me double check. It was 10.
It was like 10 PDT, if I'm not mistaken.
Hold on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so
10 a.m.
it's at 6 a.m. Pacific. It's 1 p.m. UTC on Saturday. We're going to have a Q&A for our followers on our Discord. So make sure you join the Discord and hit that wishlist button. That really helps us.
Yeah, please.
We really appreciate your support, and we hope that you've enjoyed the stream and what you've seen of the game. Definitely use this opportunity to check out the demo, play it for yourself, try out the different choices, see how the game changes depending on what you do, try out different abilities and so on. And yep, thank you all. This was
Thank
Ilya,
you.
Anton, and Cloudy from Valin, the developers of Shores Unknown. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everybody. Take care.